D1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be back with you guys on this wonderful Monday. We have a lot to get into in today's show. Joel Embiid has one of the biggest wins that he has had in his basketball career. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm also starting to see why people don't really like Jaylen Brown, as we are done with the first round of the NBA playoffs, and the second round of the NBA playoffs are here. One of the top NFL storylines is starting to emerge, and it does involve the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll get to that as well. We'll also begin today's show talking about your Kansas City Royals, as the Royals are really starting to play some good baseball of late. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Again, my name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here. Rob Brenton is here as well, taking you up until 5:30 today when we hand things off to the Kansas City Royals. Before we dive right into it, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. Two friends, I'd be greedy on my part. If you could just tell one person to check out the show, you don't know how much that would mean to Rob and I. And third, and most importantly, I need you guys to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our dear friends over at The Other Place. Today is a Burger and Brew Monday with our friends. You can get a half-pound specialty burger with fries, $8.49. Plus, you can get a $3.50 domestic. So if you want to watch New York and Philadelphia later today, you want to watch the Royals as they are back in town as well, you can do all that with the Burger and Brew with our friends over at The Other Place. Well, what do you know? The Royals, they have won 9 of their last 12, and the Royals currently sit at 15-19. Now, I don't have to tell you guys, but this is a very important week for the Kansas City Royals. The Royals have, count them, 4 games at home against the Cleveland Guardians. This weekend, the Royals have the Detroit Tigers in town as well. So you have 7 games in your division. If you take a quick look at the standings, and I understand that it's pretty early on in the baseball season, so you're not 100% scoreboard watching yet. We got a long way to go until we get there. Have you seen the American League Central? It's weak. The Tigers and the Guardians tied for first place, 18-17. The Chicago White Sox have 16 wins. The Royals have 15 wins. So all 5 teams in the American League Central are all within 3 games of another. So when you have an opportunity, not just to get back to 500 if you're Kansas City, but you also have the ability to directly chip away at the lead that Cleveland has over you, which is 2.5 games, what Detroit has against you, which is 2.5 games, you have to seize that opportunity. We made this analogy last week, and it's still applicable in my mind. It's like a basketball game. The Royals got down pretty big. I mean, at one point this season, we were talking about a 9-17 team, a team that was 17-16. Well, they are going on a little bit of a run now. We always knew that that was going to happen. There's going to be ups and downs that happen over the course of a baseball season. But if you can just keep stacking winning performances, the Royals in their last homestand had a winning homestand against the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Angels. You now go on the road. You lost the series to the Sacramento Athletics, but you then sweep the Seattle Mariners, so you win 4 out of 6 games. this is a team that has played much better baseball of late. Their bullpen is starting to round out. We'll talk about their offense here in just a little bit as well, and how Jack Caglione is just starting to figure some things out. But this is a team that is starting to get closer to where we thought they could be. There's still obviously a lot more work that needs to be put into this thing. But if you were taking a look at the Kansas City Royals, they are potentially 10 to 14 days away from eliminating the slow start that they were in. And also with a really, really good week, you could look up, Rob, and you could find yourself a half game out of first place. Now, you might only be 2 games under 500. You might be at 500 if that ends up being the case. But at least right now, none of these other teams in the American League Central have shown you an ability, at least as of now, that they are going to run away from this thing. I mean, 4 of the 5 teams in the American League Central have a minus run differential. So you are not talking about this is one of the cream of the crop divisions. You are not in the American League East where Tampa Bay and the New York Yankees are the clear best teams. We talked about this last week as well, taking a look at the standings. If you remove Tampa Bay, who has 21 wins, if you remove the Yankees, who have 23 wins, I mean, you just got the rest of the American League that is somewhere sandwiched in between 14 and 18 wins. Everybody is right there. Nobody has created that separation. So while this continues to be the case in the American League, you got to strike while the iron is hot. And the Royals are by far and away playing their best and most consistent baseball of the season. And you really got the opportunity to make up some ground with 7 straight days of teams in your division with Cleveland and Detroit. And we're talking about 2 teams that are narrowly in front of you. We're talking about 2.5 games. You obviously got a lot of time to be able to make that up, but you are not going to win your division if you are the Kansas City Royals. Taking this conversation a step further, you are not making the playoffs if you look up and the Tigers were 4-11 against you this season, or you couldn't handle your business and take care of what you needed to do against the Cleveland Guardians. So it's not just singularly focused on you got to get back to 500. Obviously, that's very important. But the second thing is when you have these games against teams in your division and you've already been swept by the Detroit Tigers earlier this season, and you also lost a series to the Cleveland Guardians, you are not making the playoffs if you look up and in your division against the 2 top teams, Cleveland and Detroit, you won 7 games between the 2. So it's not just important to get back to 500. It's also important for you to keep pace in your division and the teams that you were trying to track down and the teams that you were trying to hunt down. So we'll see how this week plays themselves out for the Royals, but I think the Royals have deserved to turn themselves into the top story. We've come out on the other side of the NFL draft. Everybody has given their opinions on the draft. We still got a couple more weeks until the World Cup is here. I think a lot of focus is on the Royals and can they get themselves back into it, and can they really make a run of this thing in a division that feels like it's pretty weak. We're going to talk a lot of baseball today. Denny Matthews is going to be on the show coming up at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Always love catching up with the Hall of Famer, but you guys know the rules. If we start the show talking Royals baseball, it can only mean one thing. Hit me, Rob.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrying today's Random Royals lineup takes us back to the year 2017, which before this weekend was the last time the Royals had swept the Mariners in Seattle. Here is your lineup on May 4th in 2017.
I can't wait for this.
Leading off at second base, Whit Merrifield.
Shout out to Whit.
Batting second at third base, Mike Moustakas. Batting third, the center fielder, Lorenzo Kay.
Okay, I'm going to be real curious to see where this team starts to fall off because you got a lot of Royals legends so far.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer.
See what I mean? Royals legends.
Batting fifth, the catcher, Salvador Perez. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Alex Gordon. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Jorge Bonifacio. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, Cheslor Cuthbert. The Royals did lose on this date in 2017 because Ian Kennedy got knocked around after 4 1/3, and Mike Minor and Travis Wood did not make things better for the boys in blue out of the bullpen. They lost on this date in 2017 to the White Sox.
It's also important to note with the Kansas City Royals and in the division that Tariq Skubal is out for the next 2 to 3 months. He had some elbow issues. So arguably the best player, most important player in the division. Maybe you could say it's Bobby Wood Jr., but I mean, you're talking about a Cy Young candidate kind of pitcher, a true number one for the Detroit Tigers. He's going to miss a substantial amount of time. That obviously has a major factor in this race as well. So if you're looking at the American League Central right now, the Tigers and Guardians are both tied at 18 and 17. And then you have 3 teams that are all under 500 in Chicago, Kansas City, and Minnesota. But those 3 teams are so grouped up. The Tigers and the Guardians have 18 wins. Chicago has 16. Both Kansas City and Minnesota have 15 wins. So a lot more work to do if you are the Kansas City Royals. But you absolutely give yourself a chance this week. 2 weeks ago, when the Royals played these kinds of teams, they got swept for the entire week. They lost the series to Detroit. They lost the series against the Yankees. Yankees, obviously, much better competition than the ones we're talking about. You also lost a series earlier in the year to Cleveland. But you got those teams now coming to your building. They're in your stadium. You got to take care of business if you're the Royals. This needs to be, Rob, a 5-2 week for the Royals. You got a 3-game or 4-game homestand against Cleveland, and then you got 3 games this weekend. The Royals actually have a Sunday night baseball game. The Royals game on Sunday is going to be at 6 o'clock. Very rarely do you get a Sunday night affair in Kansas City, so that should certainly be a lot of fun. This just starts with taking care of your own business and letting everything else work themselves out. Let's see what the Royals continue to do. I want to get Rob's opinion next. We'll talk a little bit of baseball, 913-586-7965. I also missed this story when I was out of town. A lot of people are upset and frustrated with Royals.tv. Let's talk about it. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Spring is here. Now's the time to get your air conditioner ready with a $49 AC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. A tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. It is not hard to destroy a college. Last season, the podcast Campus Files brought you stories of fraternity drug rings, stolen body parts, campus cults, and more.
And now Campus Files is back for another season.
There's a guy screaming into his phone. He's like, I just saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated right in front of me.
Every week is a new episode and a new story.
It was so chaotic. It's almost like a university under siege.
Listen to and follow Campus Files. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, I love the show, but 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't even talk about the Royals. So saying that you knew they were going to go on a run is a farce. I understand that point. I would like to point out 2 weeks ago that the Royals were in the middle of losing 9 of 10 games. But I don't think anyone thought that this was an all-time bad team. I always believed the Royals were going to do what they are doing now. My question with the Royals, and I still don't think we're out of the woods, at least with this question, is this the roller coaster we are going to be on all year? Are they going to be a just extremely hot or extremely cold team? Now, they were extremely cold for about a 2.5-week stretch. They had a stretch where they lost 9 of 10. If you want to extrapolate it out even more, they had a stretch where they lost 14 of 17 games. Like, the Royals were playing incredibly bad baseball. Now you flip things over. They're starting to put a couple of series wins together, and getting the series win against Seattle was very, very impressive. Now, this is not me trying to rain on the Royals parade at all. On Saturday and Sunday, Rob, you do not typically win baseball games with the superlatives that the Royals had. I mean, they struck out at least 14 times on Saturday. They didn't hit a home run. They had 1 extra base hit and won a game in extra innings, and they replicated a lot of that on Sunday. Now, you certainly don't apologize. You got to get in how you fit in, but this is a team that my question now is just going to be, are they going to find themselves in a position where they actually get over the hump? But one thing is, you can only play one game at a time. That's why I think this stretch, albeit very early on in the season, is very, very important. If you even want to take the outlook out even further, I mean, the Royals' next 10 games are in their division. And this division is tightly contested. As I said, the Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians are tied for the lead, and Chicago is a game and a half back. The Royals, their next 10 games, they play a game against a team that is directly ahead of them in their division. If the Royals can go 7-3 during this stretch, they are 100% back in it. If the Royals can play even hotter than that, but in the same way that the Royals quickly got themselves back in things, you can easily get yourself back out of it. They just have to continue to stack wins, Rob. That's how this thing has to play themselves out.
I look at it this way, and you're right. We need to see more sustained success from the Royals. I'd like the weather to be smooth. I'd like, instead of losing 9 of 10 and then winning 8 of 9, it's just, hey, a 4-3 week, a 5-2 week, a 4-3. Like that's what we all want the Royals to be. But when I look at where the Royals are right now, and we were a little doom and gloom, and I understand why, I compare what the Royals are experiencing to a team in the NFC South last football season, because we love a cross-sport comparison. They're the Panthers, they're the Saints. Pick a team in the NFC South last year that they weren't a great football team. You know what they did? They competed in a really bad division. That's how I feel with the Royals right now. The AL Central stinks. So yes, the goal is to get back over 500, and the goal is all those things. But the way it's pacing right now, you can be an 83 and 85 type of win team and win the division. So less roller coaster rides, and there's a path to be an 85 win team and being what the Carolina Panthers were in the NFL because of how bad the AL Central is.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, you're playing revisionist history to say you weren't out on the Royals. I don't know if I'm back in on the Royals. They have me intrigued. I will say this, and I think this is good. I am happy that the Royals are playing well enough that the text line is getting its swagger back. Because one thing I don't want to make it seem like is I was the only one burying the Royals 3 weeks ago. No, we were all here. And the way that they were playing, you wanted the manager fired. You wanted J.J. Piccolo fired. You wanted him to move to Nashville. I was not the only one burying the Royals a couple of days ago. So if I got to be the one like, oh, I was the only one that didn't believe in the Royals, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not sure if I'm 100% back in on the Royals. They're under 500. My stance is going to be very, very simple. Until the Royals get back to 500, I think it's going to be difficult to have playoff conversations. That's why I think this week is important, because you have an opportunity to get back to 500 and give yourself a realistic possibility. Rob, I looked this up. Now, obviously, you have to incorporate COVID, right? Because COVID happened, just less teams won. You also have to count the strike year in 81 and 94. Rob, there have only been 2 teams in Major League Baseball since 1970 that have won their division with 82 games exactly. So even 500 won't even get you your division if you're looking at the history of baseball. I'm saying 82 is the floor of games that the Royals need to win. You probably realistically need to get somewhere between 85 and 88. One other team in the American League is going to get hot. The same way that the Royals have gotten hot, and now they're playing good baseball. All 5 teams in the American League Central are not going to win 78 or 79 games. Somebody's going to stretch a little bit further out. Can the Royals potentially be that team? As of now, you have a good of a chance of anybody because your division is not very strong.
The math would indicate you're right. 85 to 88 is probably the number. I could see this division playing to 83, 84, but I agree with you. 79 and 83 is not a playoff division winning team. So I don't mind waiting to have playoff conversations until after they're back to or above 500. But I think all year, because of how stinky the AL Central looks, and now with Scooble out, it looks worse. I think there's going to be a time in June or July where the Royals are, say, 50 and 50 and are only a half game back in the division. So I think both things can be true at once. Get to 500, but if they get to 500, you can easily make the case that they are a playoff team, which is how bad the AL Central is.
I also think just realistically with the Royals, in the same way that right now they have won 7 of their last 9, and they have won 8 of their last 11, you would also have to assume that the inverse is going to happen at some point as well. And how do you minimize the damage of that happening? The Royals got themselves in this situation because they went 9 days without winning. That's how they got themselves back in the situation. So now you were just spending so much energy just trying to get yourself back to even, just trying to get yourself back to 500. You still got a little bit more work to go. You got a 4-game set against Cleveland. You got a 3-game set at home against Detroit. And then you got 3 games on the road against the White Sox. And then we'll see where the Royals are with 10 straight games in their division right now because their division is so evened up. If the Royals go 4-6 over this stretch, I mean, that's a critical blow if we were talking about extrapolating this thing out over the course of the season. You have to play well in this 10-game stretch if you're the Royals. Let's get back to the on-the-field perspective with the Royals here coming up in a bit. Now, I actually missed this story. I did not see this. Rob came up to me and said, "Did you see the Royals TV?" And I was like, "No, what happened?" So, Rob, if you can, for people that may not know the story, can you tell them what is currently happening with Royals.tv?
So I will make this as short and sweet as possible. You know, at the beginning of the season, Royals TV cost $89.99. You got all your Royals games. Everyone was happy-go-lucky. They have their own network, blah, blah, blah. Well, recently, the Royals are having what is known as a limited-time-only seasonal subscription to Royals.tv. Now 50% off. This sale will end on May 10th. So if you are a person listening right now and you do not have Royals TV, as opposed to paying $90, you can pay $45. Now, that in itself is not the story. I do not know what happens if you are a Royals fan who paid for this subscription on opening day.
Let's go back, though. Hold on. Let's stop here in the middle because I do want to get to the second part. Let's start with the first part of this. If you are announcing a price cut this early on to the season, that is a signal to everybody that you overpriced it from the very, very beginning and the demand is not there. I think we know enough about these companies. They are not usually interested in offering the deals. They are normally offering the deals because they have to offer the deals. It's still relatively early on in the series. Like, we're talking about, this is what the Royals' third homestand of the year. So the third homestand for the year, they've already dramatically slashed the price. Rob, I'm on the Royals website right now. Go to MLB.com, live stream, subscribe. It's $45 for the rest of the season. $45 right now. You can watch every single Royals game from May 4th up until their final game of the season. There's a couple exceptions like the Apple TV game. $45 right now. That's not that bad. That is more than a 50% discount. Now, to what you were talking about, which I do think is very, very important, it is clear they're not giving the money back, right? You are not going to go on your Chase card and see that they have given you $50 back. But what I think they could do, which would be in very good faith, is offer you $25 off for next year. We know this is not going anywhere. This is the future of sports television, especially with these kinds of sports, whether it's the NBA, whether it's baseball, where you have such of an inventory. The Royals are going to offer Royals.tv next year. For the people that subscribed from day one and didn't wait it out, for the people that, hey, I want to be locked in, I want to be committed, I think $100 is a fair price, I could understand how now you're a bit frustrated. And if you had just waited 30 days, you would have saved yourself $55. If the Royals right now just said, hey, we understand, but we're going to give you a $25 credit towards next year. So next year you can get it for $75 at the very beginning of the season. I think that will go a long way towards making it right to the people that invested from the very, very beginning with the Royals.
As you mentioned, they're not getting their money back. I agree. Do you think this change in price on May 4th, basically a month-ish into the season, is an indictment on subscribers they have?
1,000%.
Because you mentioned that they probably overpriced it. I agree they probably overpriced it. I think they're looking at the numbers and they're thinking to themselves, we're not only overpriced it, we don't have the people we thought we'd have on this 100%. Network. So I think it's in poor taste that the Royals don't do something positive for the person that bought it. I bought the Royals package. I bought it for opening day. I thought the Royals were going to be a lot better this year. I'm not saying the Royals should be sending me money, but someone like me or a hardcore fan who listens to those type of people shouldn't be punished for buying it early. They really should have done it the opposite way. They should have had a deal if you buy on opening day, and then throughout the season, okay, here's a little sprinkle, but it's a little more than the opening day number. It shouldn't be, I waited so I get rewarded.
Yeah, I don't mind what the Royals did. The Royals set a price, and then the public decided that's not a good price. That's how these things usually work. It's supply and demand. You are allowed to set your product at whatever price you think is a fair price. And then the public will then decide whether or not they want to go sign in. Rob, we complain about movie ticket prices. People didn't have no problem paying to go see Michael. People ain't going to have no problem paying to go seeing it for Toy Story 7 or whatever number they're on. But for some movies, Hollywood's run out of ideas. I'll wait till you get home. So if you want to charge the $100 that they did in the very, very beginning, and the market has now told you you are now overcharging people, and in order to stimulate that, you're going to cut people a deal and hope that you get more subscribers to get them in the tent, that's perfectly fine. But I don't think that you should penalize the people who were there with you from the very, very beginning, when I think to just make those people happy, you can do something so small. Offer them right now a specific code for next year. Hey, keep this code. We're going to offer you 30% off next year. We appreciate you. We appreciate your business. And next year, when it's $100, we're going to give it to you at $70 or $75. We obviously can't make it right. They're not giving you, they're not sending you 4 free tickets to the game, but we can definitely make this right for you heading into next year. That's how I think they should do it. Now, are they going to do it that way? I don't know if they're going to do it that way, but that's absolutely something that they should strongly consider.
To your point about supply and demand, though, you're right. The market set the price. Here's what I think the Royals messed up, and I don't know if it's the Royals' fault. They announced their TV plan the day before opening day. It was the Thursday. Remember, the Royals started their season on Friday night against the Braves. The Wednesday of that week, Wednesday, when the Yankees are playing the Giants on Netflix, the Royals announced, hey, you can buy the Royals.tv package for $89.99. You didn't give the market a chance to figure out if your price was set too high. Now, maybe that's Major League Baseball's fault. I don't know who's at fault. But the fact that you're a month into the season and you're basically admitting we don't have the subscribers we want because our price is too high, you got to do something for the people who got in the boat early other than just say, hey, the price is the price.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, CDOT, there's not the same amount of games to be played as it was in the beginning, so it's just a discounted product. No, and that's fair, but this is we have not completed 50% of the season. If they had offered this up at the All-Star break and it was $100 and then at the All-Star break they did it, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, they even go to $75. If you had something marked at $100 and now you got it marked at $45, you were very, very off on what the public was willing to pay for your product. So I completely understand. You can't charge the same price in May that you were charging at the end of March. 100% makes sense. But that would be just knocking off what the monthly subscription is. I mean, for the monthly subscription, it was $14. Like, they're doing above and beyond this. This is a drastic price difference. A drastic price difference. So, in order to just make it right for people, just offer the people some deal, because we all know how this is going to work. Now that you know it's discounted, the same way that some of you will not buy tickets early to an event, because you know if you wait 2-3 days before, you can hopefully find a deal and you can find a sale. There's some people that don't care. Hey, I want to buy my tickets 5 months in advance. I want to plan. I want to do this. I want to do this. And there are some people that just say, yeah, I plan on going, but I'm a track StubHub, I'm a track SeatGeek, I'm a track the Game Time app, and when I find a price that I like, I'm going to jump in. You are just going to have more people at the beginning of the season say, just wait 30 days, and what's $100 right now? Figure it out, watch it on an illegal stream, go to the sports book, do something else, and then in 30 days, what you could have paid $100 for, we're not going to sell to you for $40. That doesn't sound like a good business model to me.
That's why I say, I don't know what happened this year. Going forward, if you're the Royals, you should be setting the lower price early in the season. If you're going to have a seasonal sale, it should go from, hey, you jumped in at $49.99, seasonal sale, you can buy in right now at, whatever 85% of $49.99 is for the baseball season. It shouldn't be person A on opening day is psyched up for Royals baseball and pays $100, and person B, I don't really know, and on Cinco de Mayo says, screw it, I'll jump in, and is paying $50. Like that's backwards in every way. I don't know who's at fault here. I think this might be MLB's problem, though, because MLB was so late getting these TV packages rolled out to the public. Because like I said, it was the Wednesday before the season when we found out the Royals had a TV package.
Yeah, I also feel like, and this is, I guess, maybe a little bit more inside media, I think the fact that they make you buy it separately as opposed to just kind of roping it into what you already have is kind of what changes it. Like, even at the $100, I don't think that's too bad of a price. Now, $45, I would say it makes it almost a no-brainer. Like, they're giving you the Royals for 35 cents a game for the rest of the season, like somewhere about that, right?
It's like $10 a month now. There's $5 months left.
Saying, like, when you really think about it, like, you can watch the games now for, let's do the math, Rob, but they're giving you it's certainly less than $1 a game. It's less than 75 cents a game. Like, they have given you a substantial discount on the Royals that if you're interested in the Royals, just have it. $45. But I think if this is a baseball thing, not a Royals thing. But if this was an add-on on YouTube TV, the way that Sunday Ticket is, if this was an add-on on Amazon Prime, the same way that some people have Hulu, but then they have an additional where you get these I think people would look at it a little bit different. But I think that there is a large majority of people, and I've kind of fallen into this category too, you're just tired of being told you need a new subscription. You need Peacock for this thing. You need Paramount Plus for this thing. You need Amazon Prime to watch this thing. I think people are just tired of having 5, 6 different subscriptions out there. So the fact now you're telling me I got to buy a subscription that only unlocks the Royals, it doesn't unlock all the teams, you just can watch this one team. I think there's a lot of people that just push back on that idea and are just tired of feeling like I get gouged at every turn.
I think this is the Royals, what the Royals are having happen to them and baseball's happening to them is the first, to your point, first wave of people standing up to the streaming revolution. Because it's going to get worse before it gets better. I saw a story, the NFL is about selling 10 games to Netflix, or I think it's 5 games to Netflix,
Yeah,
YouTube.
5 games,
more and more games are heading to streaming-only platforms, and they're going to have happen to you, what you just said. You're going to have 7, 8, 9, 10 apps to watch sports. With the Royals, you need their own app, plus you need Peacock, plus you need Apple TV, plus you need, ESPN, because they might have a game. Like, it's just... I saw a thing that Yankees fans need like 14 different streamers this year. I think Royals fans maybe saying hold up on Royals TV is exactly what you said. It's the first stand fans are making in the streaming revolution.
Someone on the text line just said, I tuned in, C-Dot. What happened is the app no longer $100 for the season. Actually, right now, you can buy the app for $44.99. This is a limited time only sale. Do you know when this sale ends, Rob?
May 10th. So a week,
May 10th. So
a
you
week
got
from
a week.
Yesterday.
Yeah, you got a week. And at $45, I would just encourage you to buy it.
And you're right. Earlier, I did the math. It is 35 cents a game if you buy today, but you could also buy on the 9th, and the number is going to go down.
Sure.
Yeah,
So 35 cents a game to watch the rest of the Royals games for the season, I actually think is a pretty good price. I think it's a pretty fair number for the Royals. Like, I don't want to hear people coming up in 3 weeks claim access. No, that's a fair price. That's more than a fair price. Whatever sports bar you go to, you need to tell them about this deal, and they should have the $45 package so you can watch every Royals game for the rest of the year. $45 is a pretty fair number. And if you got to now pull up the meth stream or the crack stream, or you got to pull up, I used a bunch of different ways. If you got to pull that up to watch the Royals, what are we doing now? Just pay the $45 for the rest of the year. I shouldn't have to do all this work to watch the Royals game. I don't want to do all of that.
Or should you just, as a fan, wait about 30 days and they'll drop it to $29.99? Because that's what happened last time.
Sure.
That's what just happened. It's going to go from 45 to 22. Just wait it out.
Yes.
Who knows?
So someone said, C-Dot, should we hold out for an even cheaper price? I don't know if they're giving you a cheaper price for a little bit. I don't know if they're giving you a cheaper price for now. I think 45 is going to be as cheap as it goes. For now, I think you'll get to the All-Star break and it could be $25 or $29.99 for the rest of the year. Or maybe they do like a flash sale around Memorial Day or something. But this is a fair number. I cannot complain about the number. I want to complain. I would complain with you. I don't think I complain at $45 for the remainder of the season. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame voice for the Royals. The Yankees, their Hall of Fame voice, John Sterling, he passed away. Denny and he have a history together. We will have Denny tell you the story of that coming up in a little bit. All right, keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connects to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
How old is your roof? If it's over 15 years old, it could be time to replace it before small issues become major problems. At Century Roofing, we've installed over 35,000 roofs in more than 35 years right here in Kansas City. We know what to look for, and we know how to protect your home. Schedule your free inspection today and let our team give you peace of mind. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This afternoon, expect a mix of sun and slight showers with a high of 82.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Hey, it's Jack Caglione from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan. All right, I have two very random things to share with you guys. I'll tell you my experience from the Kentucky Derby just a little later in the show. I'm not ready to tell that story yet, but I will tell you, Rob, two internet things that caught my attention. I like watching other people argue on Facebook. I don't really like to participate in Facebook arguments. Rob, you know I have a very simple rule. I try not to spend a whole lot of time arguing with people who only exist on my phone. Like, we don't have a relationship. We don't know each other. Like, why am I spending my time arguing with you? That just doesn't seem like a good use of my energy, a good use of my time. So I really try to avoid it. But not everybody follows that. A lot of people, in fact, like arguing on the internet. So let me tell you a internet story today that had my timeline going crazy. Rob, the story goes as posted. Mother's Day is for mothers, not dog moms, not cat moms, not plant moms. It is for the women who have really lived it, the ones who have conceived, carried, birthed, raised, or lost a child. Motherhood isn't a cute label. It's being needed 24/7, running on empty, still showing up, putting yourself last without even blinking twice. It's real life, and it deserves respect. Now, Rob, I did not think that this was going to be a controversial opinion. I did not think that. But in true internet fashion, oh, are they going crazy in the comments? Oh, let me tell you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just read all of these things, but just some of them. Like, one young lady said, "Damn, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that my cats weren't living." And just people were going back and forth, and they were arguing. I was just sitting back. I felt like that one Michael Jackson meme where he's eating popcorn. I'm just watching all of these people argue. Now, we don't got to spend too much time on that, Rob. I'm not a mom. You're not a mom. Like, we can't comment on this. But I would just ask one thing or make one point, and then we can move on. Doesn't the dog already have a mom? Like, the dog had a mom, right? Like, I'm not crazy in thinking that, right? Like, I understand people call themselves dog mom, but you do understand that the dog already had one. So, like, this whole thing, the whole argument to me, it seemed like what this first person said was very logical. It made a lot of sense to me. I don't know why I was the only one in the comments that thought that this person made a lot of sense. You are not the dog or the cat's mother. You're its provider for sure. You take care of it. You love it. I'm not saying you can't love it, but you have to know that you're not the dog's mother. Rob, I love your wife. I love your family. You think I would give your wife a gift for your dog? Absolutely not. No chance. People do that.
I'm like astonished that comment got so much pushback.
Do people say Happy Mother's Day to people who don't have children, but they have a dog or a cat or a plant?
They shouldn't. They might, but
that's crazy to me. That's legitimately crazy.
Like, if I'm going to get a card later this week for my mom for Mother's Day, I'm going to read around and see if they have one. It's like, for your pup or something, and I'll be upset if they do. I can't believe that's like the least controversial thing I think I've ever read. How did that get people in the comments so angry? You can love your pet. I love my pet. I don't get to celebrate Father's Day because I have a pet. That's not how it works.
Someone on the text line says, what about adopted kids? You absolutely can celebrate Mother's Day. 1,000%. Of course. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm telling you Happy Mother's Day because you have a dog? Because you're a dog owner? You're a pet owner? That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. That sounds nuts to me to do that.
Also, what's the line? If I have a fish, do you get to say I'm a fish? Like, What's the level of animal where you get to say you get to celebrate Mother's Day in that world? No, it is for human mothers. I cannot believe we need that distinction.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, "CDOT, there's plenty of women that can't have kids, so this is a life they have. Why not celebrate them too?" I'm all for celebrating them. There's other days that we can celebrate you. I'm sorry that you can't participate in this day if you really want to. I feel genuinely bad. If that's what you want and you can't have that happen, I feel bad. I just say there's other days that we can celebrate you. There's plenty of other days we can celebrate you. This day is just, it's not for you, unfortunately. So if you don't have a kid, or you're not a guardian of a kid, and you just have a horse, today's not your day. I'm sure they have a day where we can celebrate the owners of horses, and I'm happy to celebrate you on that day. Can you be a tree mom? If you're a plant mom, we can't celebrate you on Arbor Day. Hey, you have done a phenomenal job in raising trees. We should celebrate that. That's important. I just don't know if we should be doing that on the weekend. I don't know if Sunday's your day.
I'm a loss for words. This is a real fight. No, I'm sorry. No, you're right. It's very sad for people who cannot be mothers. It's got to be a very thing to endure if they want to have kids, this, that, and the other. It just, you don't get to say I have a golden retriever, so I get to celebrate today. You just don't get to celebrate today. And I'm sorry, but no.
Someone on the text line just said, "CDOT, I was just following your logic. They already have a mom. I just think we can understand the difference in adopting a child and than adopting a dog or a cat." I just feel like that was a kind of a understood point. But you know what? You're right. I did say that 100%. Another thing, Rob, this is another internet thing that I just feel inclined to talk about. Denny Matthews will be on the show coming up in a little bit. Have you seen the tweets that roll around that say, "What's something common that you deem to be low intelligence?" Have you seen these kind of tweets pop up on your timeline?
Once in a while, but not probably as much as you have.
I have determined what mine is. This is what I've determined. You're on Twitter, so you know this. Have you ever just seen somebody randomly ask that Grok thing a question? Have you seen that?
I have. I've seen people do that in the comments, yes.
I assume you're stupid. I'm serious. I assume you're stupid. I'm 100%. I 100% at that moment, if I see you on social media at that Grok thing and ask it a question, I 1000% in that moment seem that you are not a smart individual. I don't have to know anything else about you, just that one thing. And I have formed my conclusion right then and there.
Let me ask you this, though. I'm not defending that stance. Isn't that just the same as using ChatGPT? How is it different? It's just a different chat bot.
Yeah, I'm doing it privately. I'm doing ChatGPT privately. I'm doing it away from everybody else. Yeah. If I knew that my ChatGPT history was, I would ask it way less questions than I do asking Google, is asking internet assistants. Yeah, for sure. I'm saying is, Rob, where everybody can see your question and then you just ask it right then and there. Yeah, I just right then and there. I assume that you're dumb. Like someone on the text line says, "CDOT, I don't know what you mean. I have a friend who will ask Meta AI to prove his point when we're talking sports, and that's why I end the conversation." Yeah, if in the middle of our sports just conversation and then you just got to pull up, "Hey AI, what's this? Why am I talking to you about this?" You don't know. You have no clue. Why don't you do the reading and the research and then come back, and then I'm happy to further the conversation with you. I'm happy to further the conversation with you, but just out of nowhere, if that's what you do, that's crazy to me.
You're right. The public and now I can't speak for everyone on social media. It seems like people who ask that chatbot Grok or whatever it's called on Twitter, they're usually asking it about stuff that's readily available to Google. It's like, ask Grok, "Hey, what's the most attended football game of the year?" Like,
Yeah,
just
crazy.
Google it. Just Google
That's
it.
crazy to me. It's genuinely crazy to me. Like nuts. Nuts to me. Can I tell you one very quick Kentucky Derby story since we don't have a lot of time? So this is the second year in a row that I've been. I went with my mother and my sister, and we had a really good time. Now, Rob, I know what a mint julep is. You know what a mint julep is. I assume a lot of you, if you drink, you know what a mint julep is. My mom does not like bourbon. It's not her drink of choice. She'll drink a wine, she'll drink a vodka, something fruity, but she just does not like bourbon. So how they have it set up, it's like all inclusive. So you pay them out. It's all you can eat food, all you can eat drink the whole time you're on there. So they're like walking around, oh, you want a mint julep? My mom says, yeah, of course, I'll try it. She takes one. I don't know why she thought it was going to be different than the one she had last year. She takes a mint julep. She tries, says, ooh, what is that? And I look at her, I say, Mama, you don't like bourbon. Why did you take it? It's like, oh, I didn't know. I don't know how you don't know. Rob, my mother did this 3 separate times and had the same. And I looked at her, I was like, why? Do you think they're using a new recipe now? If you didn't like it the first time and the second time, why do you keep this is not your drink. Get something else. Go get a margarita. Go get something else. Why do you keep doing this?
This is a sensation I have experienced personally. I love an old-fashioned. Every restaurant we go to that order one, my wife will be like, oh, I'll try that. She doesn't like them.
Yes.
I know this about her. She knows this about her. We will be name a restaurant in town like, I'm going to get an old-fashioned. She will take a sip of mine, and she'll make a face. Why? Why are you taking a sip of my drink? You don't like it. It's fine. Just move on.
Yeah, I don't know. But then I really started to think about it. You know what? My mom, she tries mint juleps like the way I try In-N-Out. You know, that's how she treats it. Like, I've been to In-N-Out 6 times. I don't know why every time I go in there just think, you know, this is the time I'm really going to like it. I still have not walked out of there like, God, this was a really good burger. It has never happened one time, but it just, I don't know. I continue to try it every time I get the chance. Coming up at the top of the hour, Denny Matthews is going to be on the show. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch, brought to you by Century Roofing, proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in prizes this mid-year's Eve. Saturday, June 6th. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold hard cash at midnight. And leading up to the big finale, we are calling names to win $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn entries all throughout May and June. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal. A delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal. A satisfying meal full of big flavor for great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
Been putting off some much-needed painting? Well, don't wait. Trust the professionals at CertaPro Painters to get the job done right. With over 70,000 5-star reviews, they make the process worry-free, starting with a detailed proposal and ending with a professional result at the right price. Ask about their spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
This Mother's Day, treat all of the moms in your life like a queen. No, wait, an empress. With a little help from Ivy. Surprise her with a stunning floral arrangement, or choose from dozens of gift cards for some retail therapy. Then bring the whole family to brunch at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for children 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. Just one stop for endless options to crown her queen for the day. Only at Hy-Vee.
Moms are the most important people in our life, and she deserves to be honored on Mother's Day. This year, treat your mom to an amazing brunch at Hy-Vee with fresh eggs, crispy bacon and sausage, biscuits and gravy, fresh fruit, sweet treats, and so much more. You can bring the whole family for just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for kids 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. It's Mother's Day brunch at Hy-Vee. They have everything to honor mom. So make this Mother's Day the most memorable ever, only at Hy-Vee.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Renner Garage Door is giving back. 5% of sales go to Authentic Life Foundation, and you get 5% off your project. Visit rennerdoor.com.
RENNER, RENNER.
Hey, Kansas City. This is Cole Reagans. On your way home from the K, tune into Vern's postgame show right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by the Hall of Famer, Denny Matthews, joins us on the show today. Denny, how are you doing today?
Carrington, I'm doing just fine.
Denny, so let's start with this a little bit on a somber tone. You are a Hall of Famer. There was a baseball Hall of Famer who passed away earlier today, John Sterling, the longtime voice for the Yankees. I'm imagining you guys have crossed paths. You were in the American League. He was in the American League for a long time. What John Sterling story do you have?
Well, this is offline in a way, but when we were both fledgling broadcasters, I think I was just a year out of college. John Sterling and I worked together doing 3 Baltimore Colts football games on radio. Chuck Thompson, the Hall of Fame broadcaster of the Orioles, was doing Orioles baseball. He would later do Baltimore Colts football when the baseball season ended. But in September, there were 2 exhibition games and 1 regular season NFL game that John Sterling and I put our talents together, and we split the games up. I did the first half, he would do the second half, and then the next game we did, it was the Vice and the Bursa. And John had never played football, so he was okay with play-by-play, and I was kind of the, I guess, analyst, color guy, and then I did play-by-play. But it worked out well. We had a lot of fun, and it was kind of we were thinking that we were in the big time, and it was fun.
Denny, I'm imagining you never think about it like this, but you're really the last of an era, the last of a generation. I mean, you've had one job since the 60s. John Sterling started the broadcast with the Yankees in 1989 and did it all the way up until 2024. We're talking about, people in your profession got these jobs and they kept them 25, 30, 35 years. Do you ever think about it that way?
Well, when I came to Kansas City in 1969, I figured, having grown up right between Chicago and St. Louis, that I would someday get to go do the Cubs or the White Sox or the Cardinals. If I did a good job in Kansas City and somebody noticed, then somebody may call. Well, interestingly enough, all 3 teams at one point in my career have called, and the Yankees, you can add the Yankees when they got that big cable deal in the early 90s or late 80s. And so when you are happy with the people you're working with, if you're happy in the community, if you like the town, if you love the city, the people here, you don't have reason to move. And I was certainly happy here. And so I figured, well, why move? And even though those jobs were tempting, why I had to say, well, thank you. It's very flattering that you called and offered me a job, but I've signed a contract with the Royals, and I'm going to honor that contract.
Denny, do you feel you have an iconic call? Because when I hear John Sterling's voice, and I didn't get a chance to listen to a lot of Yankees broadcasts, I hear it's an A-bomb from A-Rod. Like, that's the voice that I hear in my head when I think of John Sterling. Did you ever try to develop one of these? Do you feel like you have one of these?
You know, I thought about that, and I thought that if I had a call, and I'd make it up, and, you know, you have to be happy with it to start. What if I had that call, and 20 years after I started it, I'm still doing it, but now I'm tired of it. Now what? You can't. What are you going to do? Just erase it or bury it? I don't know. But no, whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth, basically, and that's my call.
Denny, the last, I guess, broadcast question I'll ask you. I imagine that a few times a month, a handful of times a year, a young broadcaster wants to be the next Denny Matthews, and they want you to listen to something or give them advice. What advice do you give that person?
Well, the first thing I ask them is, what sports do you like? Or what sport do you want to broadcast? And if they say, well, I like them all, but maybe I'll do basketball or maybe I'll do baseball or football. And I'll say, okay, have you ever played those games, either out in the sandlot or in high school or in college? Well, some have, some haven't. And I said, well, you know what? I don't care if you want to get up a group of guys and go play softball, if you want to broadcast baseball, and play the game. If you have played the game, and I don't care what level, then you have a better feel for the game that you're going to broadcast. And it seems like everybody has a favorite sport or two that they would like to broadcast. And so if they have played those games on whatever level, I think they're a little bit better for it. And then I say, take a tape recorder. We've all heard this before, right? Take a tape recorder out, record a high school game or a college game, and that'll be for your resume. Listen to it, see what you like, see what you don't like, and go from there.
Right now, we're talking to the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals, Denny Matthews, joining us on the show today. Denny, let's talk about the boys in blue. That is the exact kind of road trip that they needed. They had a winning road trip. They just swept the Seattle Mariners. They are now coming home to play a team in their division. Still a lot of work to be done by the Royals, but that is exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, they get to see both Cleveland and Detroit, and pretty obviously they're the two teams the Royals have to beat if they want to win the division. So, as we know, you know this, Carrington, baseball is a long season. There are going to be periods of when you're playing well. There are going to be periods of when you're not playing well. And there are going to be periods when you're playing around 500. So right now, the Royals are in a good streak. Earlier this year, when I talked about it, they weren't playing that well. It also matters how you are playing, the other team is playing. And if they're playing very well and you can beat them, that's hang a star on that. But if they're playing crummy and you're playing well, you're probably going to win 2 out of 3 or all 3, and that's what happened in Seattle. So you have to roll with the blows. You have to enjoy having the streaks when you're red hot. And the key is to maximize the hot streaks when you're playing well, minimize the streaks when you're not playing so great. And if you do that, you're going to be in pretty good shape come September.
What do you feel the Royals are doing differently now than they were 2-3 weeks ago?
I think there's more enthusiasm. There's more life. The offense is better. That helps the pitching. Defense always helps your pitching. They're just playing better as a team. And it's just one of those things. It's a confidence thing. You win 2 or 3 games in a row, hey, we're pretty good. Well, that carries over. When you're not playing well and you're making errors, not paying attention maybe, and committing some mental errors, then you got to snap out of that as quick as you can.
Right now, we're talking to the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews. The bullpen, I feel, has been much better these last couple of weeks, too. It's just giving them a floor. It's giving them more consistency.
I agree, and that goes all the way down from the fifth inning on up. And your pieces and everybody now seems to have their own inning, and then the managers will try to mix and match with left-handed hitters versus lefty pitchers and righties, righties, and all that. So, yeah, they're just doing better. Again, it's a confidence thing. If you get a couple of guys out in a key situation, next time you're called on, you've got that confidence within that I did it last time, I can do it again.
You know who's actually really played well these last couple of weeks and you and I haven't talked about? Jack Caglione. It really feels like he's starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, and it takes a while, and most guys don't come to the big leagues and get it right away. That's very, very rare. Mike Trout might have been the last one to do that. There's probably one or two others I'm not thinking of, but everybody has their own timetable, and we've talked about this before, but some guys get to the big leagues and it takes them a month to acclimate. Some guys 2 months, some guys maybe a half a baseball season before they have the confidence and the ability to play in the big leagues and the knowledge within their own mind and heart that, yeah, I belong in the big leagues. I can play with these guys. So, yeah, it just takes time. Everybody's different. How much time it takes when a guy gets to the big leagues, don't try to predict it because you don't know, because he doesn't even know.
I feel a lot of times we talk about how guys are hitting the ball hard and that being an indication. I don't think that's ever really been the problem for him, but you can tell that extra base power is really starting to emerge and the home run power is starting to get a little more consistent with him.
Yeah, and I think he's hitting better pitches for him to hit. You have to recognize as a big league hitter what pitches you can handle and what pitches you can't. And stay away from the swings at pitches you can't handle and maximize your swings on the pitches that you can hit and that you can handle. And once you figure that out, then you're taking a big step in the right direction.
Denny, last thing here. I know you're big on wait till Memorial Day. The Royals are certainly playing better baseball. Do you have a time frame in your mind where the Royals need to be at or around 500 then? Because at least for me, I'm making the analogy to a basketball game. You and I have seen a basketball game where a team is down 16 and then they get it down to 4. Well, eventually you got to take the lead. Eventually you really got to put that other team on its heels. That's kind of how I'm looking at the Royals right now. Like, I want to see when this team can get to 500 and then just kind of start from zero.
Yeah, I want to see what their record is on, here we go, June the 1st, Memorial Day. That's not June the 1st, but it's close. Yeah, what's their record on June the 1st? And that will tell you a lot because after 2 months of baseball, most teams can figure out what they have, what they don't have, what they need to improve on, and you can kind of take it from there because once you get to that milestone in the schedule, then you've got 4 months to go, June, July, August, September, and hopefully if you're decent into October. But yeah, June 1st to me always tells a pretty big story.
That's Denny Matthews joining us on the show today. Thanks, Denny.
You're welcome, Carrington.
That is the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals, Denny Matthews. Coming up on the other side, we got some breaking news. Carlos Estevez is going to start his rehab start down in AA Northwest Arkansas. We'll talk about that. We'll also keep our Royals conversation going. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. That goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Taking a look at the pro basketball futures market, Detroit and Cleveland in the second round in the East. Detroit minus 135 to win the series, Cleveland at plus 110. And I'll take a shot at Cleveland to win this series. Even with Cleveland getting pushed to 7 in the opening round by Toronto, I think Cleveland just has more scoring than Detroit. Now, Detroit's point guard is an absolute stud. He's an absolute star, but Cleveland is not Orlando. Orlando couldn't buy a bucket in Game 6 or Game 7. I think Cleveland has more good players. Give me Cleveland plus 110 to advance against Detroit. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
If you're looking for new work, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is seeking motivated candidates to add value to their business and, of course, their clients. They give top pay in the industry. They have health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and, of course, advancement opportunities. Work with a great local company who wants to see you grow with them. Go to GannAsphalt.com and find out how this new career opportunity can work out for you. Gann Asphalt, one contractor, all things parking lot.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Trading the jacket for flip-flops? Start your sun-soaked getaway stress-free with Park & Go. All covered parking keeps your car cool and protected while you're catching rays. Quick shuttle straight to the terminal. Reserve now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit.
Before that 70 eastbound on the ramp to Sterling Avenue, right lane blocked, very slow.
Who covers the Royals for the MLB.com. So, Aaron Rodgers is reporting that Carlos Estevez, he is scheduled to begin a rehab assignment on Tuesday in Omaha with the AAA team. Rob, you would have to assume if Carlos Estevez is at AAA
forever ago, like before the draft back in March, they were selling a narrative out in Surprise. Don't worry about Carlos Estevez. Don't worry about the velocity. Don't worry about it. He'll get guys out. We're not worried about it. We saw him once. It was awful. It was just a disaster. Then he went to the IL. Here we sit. So he should be a nice 6th, 7th inning type of guy, low leverage until he proves that he can get guys out this level. I know the velocity's coming back, but it's got to be a prove it type of deal for me.
The Royals reached out to me, Rob. Can I tell you why they reached out?
I'm betting Royals.tv.
They did. They reached out. So the Royals told me I can only go off what I was told. They are doing well when it comes to it, and this is not a sale specifically for Royals.tv, Rob. This is a sale all across Major League Baseball. So if you are a team that has a very similar TV package to the Royals, they also have a sale. So I believe like the Cardinals, a couple other teams, this is starting to be more widespread. So the Royals want you to know, because earlier you and I were saying, hey, we don't, this might be indicative of you overcharge people. You're now doing a pretty big sale. Subscriptions must be low. You're kind of getting a stimulus. Royals say they're doing well with Royals TV. People signed up for Royals TV, and, this is just the thing that baseball is doing, just like other things go on sale to kind of get more people into the door, get more people into the tent. I would say if that's the case, they really not giving you no money back. You had a chance if it was just the Royals giving you the money back. If every team is doing this, the Royals, trust me, Major League Baseball is not giving everybody a credit. Absolutely not.
I mean, if that's the case and the Royals are communicating to you and they're right, I apologize for blaming the Royals. Then Major League Baseball is screwing the Royals. Because if the Royals have a great subscriber base and they're doing well and the pricing is done at the national level, then the national level is screwing Joe Fan. And the subscribers the Royals have are getting absolutely screwed.
This is for
by Rob
everybody,
Manfred.
though. Like that's a substantial price
That would
decrease.
make me think that Major League Baseball at the highest level sees a subscriber problem. Maybe not the Royals. Maybe they're doing well. But maybe the Padres stink at this, and the Royals are getting handcuffed price-wise by it. That someone somewhere is identifying a problem for this level of price cut.
I'm not even saying this like this is an unpaid ad. I really do think that this is a very good and fair deal. And that if you are interested in watching the Royals games, I would highly encourage you to get this package. $45 for the remainder of Royals games, and it's early May, is a more than fair price. You get all of May, all of the summer. You also get the run in September where if the division continues to stay where it is and the Royals are within striking distance, those games are going to be worthwhile. As I've said, I think it's in everybody's best interest for the Royals to be in it. No one likes it when the Royals are out of it. I mean, this summer, you're going out there. The attendance goes up. They have fun promotions. People want the Royals to do well. So it is definitely in everybody's interest if the Royals are within striking distance or you just continue to stay as hot as they've stayed for the last 10 days and this team is one up at the 60-game mark. I mean, that's just in everybody's best interest. So that's what I'm saying is for $45, I find it hard that you're going to lose for the amount of enjoyment that you can get. You did the math, Rob. It's what, like 35 cents, 40 cents a game for the rest of the way? Like, I think that now with the amount of streaming services, they are creating a lot of barriers. Like this weekend, I'm in a hotel. I just couldn't watch some of the NBA playoff games on Amazon Prime. I couldn't watch it on the TV. I now got to pull it up on my phone. Like, why can't it be on ABC? Why can't it be on ESPN? Why can't it be? But now with people, I get it with iPads and phones and people traveling. I certainly understand. For $45 a person, it's hard to tell you if you are a fan of a Major League Baseball team to not go out and get this package. It's hard to say, especially with there's no blackout rules right now. If you're only going to be blacked out for the nationally televised games or the very small amount of games that are going to be on Apple TV or et cetera, it just at that price, you got to go do it.
And I'm unaware of the exact number, but you can put it on multiple devices. Like for you, like if you buy Royals TV, you mentioned you were in a hotel. If you're a hardcore Royals fan and you wanted it on your iPad and your smart TV at home, you could be the Kentucky Derby watching the Royals because it can be on multiple devices. So it isn't just it's stuck in my living room.
I'm not really interested in watching the Royals during that time. I get the point you're making.
Yeah, but you're not.
You can watch it wherever. Yeah, you can watch it on the go.
It's not 35 cents to be on that TV. It's 35 cents you can put it places.
Yeah, for sure. Someone just sent, wait, so everybody who paid $100 this year is getting screwed. I'm confused. Did you just say the games are $45 for the rest of the way? Yes. Right now on Royals.tv, they are doing a limited time only flash sale. So for now until you said May 10th. May 10th, you have a chance to get Royals.tv for $44.99. So, I mean, I guess the answer to your question is yes. I guess the answer technically is yes, but sure. I understand it if you're upset. Somebody else just said, I paid $99 4 weeks ago, and now it's 60% off. Yeah. I feel bad that that's the case, and I think they absolutely should give you some kind of credit towards next season, 100%. Somebody said, what about the monthly people? Can I quit and upgrade for the rest of the season? That's exactly what I would do. That's what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you, if you were playing monthly, I would cancel that subscription right now, and I would just go ahead and get the $45 for the rest of the – I don't know this to be sure. Let me check. I'm on the Royals website. Hold on, let me find it. Yes, they are, as of right now, I'm on their website right now, they are not discounting the monthly, just the seasonal is discounted right now. So the monthly is still $20 on the website, but the seasonal is $44.99. So I would tell you to cancel the monthly and just go get the seasonal. I would highly encourage you to do that.
So they're really pushing the season package then.
For sure.
If they're keeping the monthly priced at the monthly, they are 100% pushing the season package, which is at that point a better deal than the monthly. I mean, if the Royals are out of it in September and you're paying for September games, that's just life.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are just saying how they recently got it. I mean, I stand with you. I honestly do. I'm 100% on your side. I would be very upset if that was the case too. I'd be very, very upset if I just bought the Royals television package 9 days ago because they started playing better baseball, and then I find out on day 10 I could have got this exact same thing. No, for sure. I'm 100% on your side. I don't know what more I can say. I'm 100% with you when it comes to that. This has nothing to do with what we have been talking about, and honestly, Rob, I was over this story, and I am over this story, but every day there's just like another small detail of the story that just really makes me laugh. Can I read to you the most recent Diana Rossini update?
At this point, yes.
Yeah, let me read it to you. So somebody close to the husband is talking to the Daily Mail. So it's like a UK, it's like their TMZ basically. So his name is Kevin Goldschmidt. He's like a higher up at Shake Shack. So he got a little money, got a good job, good looking guy,
Isn't her husband a Shake Shack employee?
I just, you didn't hear me. I just told people that.
I'm doing other stuff back here.
Okay, my bad. I just told people that. So Kevin Goldschmidt, he just said that he feels, quote, sidelined for some time, and he is dealing with, quote, deep emasculation following the allegations of a romantic relationship between his wife, Diana Rossini, and the head coach, Mike Vrabel. The insider also went on to say, so this is saying the story from Diana Rossini, quote, her marriage has taken a serious hit, which has to be the understatement of 2026. Plus, she is also dealing with the loss of Mike, who she loved very dearly. Amen. Amen. I'm serious. Rob, can you just imagine, like, you are dealing with your marriage falling apart in a very, very public way, right? Like, you're dealing with it in a very public way. And you also are dealing with that your wife is down because she can no longer communicate with her boyfriend, and now her boyfriend and her are broken up. I mean, this is over. I don't know. I genuinely do not know how these two people are going to move forward together other than they have two kids together. That's the only reason I think you can even remotely entertain the possibility of staying with this person. Sidelined for a long time, deep emasculation, and you not only got to work on the problems in your own marriage, you also got to deal with she's down because the man that she really was in love with, the one she was out at the casino with, she was out at the New York bars, she was out at they had a vacation together. Now she lost her husband and her boyfriend. He's a better man than me. I don't know if I can move forward with this woman. We got to figure something out.
I'm legitimately stunned that he's moving forward with this woman. Like, I figured we're heading to divorce town, and then the question becomes, is she going to stay with Mike? Which, now that she's fired, I thought maybe that would be the end of this conversation, that her and Mike Vrabel just together. But maybe Mike Vrabel's picking the wife. Maybe that's why she's so torn up, is that, there's photos on the internet of Mike Vrabel buying his wife, apologies.
Mike Vrabel has been married for over 25 years. Mike Vrabel, I think,
had an affair for 6.
Yeah, but I'm just
third
saying,
of the marriage.
I guess I'm just saying is at one point Diana Rossini was not married. I don't know. I'm just going to guess based on human logic and the amount of time that they spent together and the intimate amount of time. I am guessing that Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel had a conversation about being together more permanently, and Mike was the one that said, "Nah, I'm cool with what we're doing." Mike Vrabel celebrated his 25-year wedding anniversary in 2024. So, yeah, I think Mike has made it very clear he's not leaving his wife, that I'm with her. Hey, what we do on our time is on our time, but I'm not leaving it. And obviously, Diana had to be cool with it. She had her own thing going on. She got her own family. She got her own kids. I'm guessing Diana would have left her husband and her family to be with Mike Vrabel. But I'm assuming Mike is the one that doesn't want to be together, not the other way around.
Maybe it was that way at one point, but I figure if you're on a romantic vacation and you're Mike Vrabel and this all comes and he takes one day off work, I kind of love this story. I kind of hope this story goes away. Is that a weird thing to say? Like, I'm just kind of over the story.
I want a Lifetime movie. That's when it'll be over.
No.
I was over the story until this part of the story.
We need not Lifetime. We need like a real 30 for 30 type of breakdown.
I want both.
Not Melissa Joan Hart playing Diana Rossini in a movie no one sees.
I'll watch it. I don't care. I'll watch it. Caroline will watch it. A lot of people will watch the Lifetime version of these two people. I'm stunned. The story, it's not funny, but it's funny in a lot of ways. Can I read this to you? Because I have a theory. I don't think this is a unique theory at this point. I'm starting to think more and more that the World Cup is a scam. I 100% am starting to believe it. So this story comes from our dear friends over at Channel 5. Would you say we're dear friends with Channel 5? We're friends with 4. We're friends with 9. Are we cool with Channel 5 like that?
I don't think we have beef with 5, but I think...
I don't know if they're friends of the show.
Yeah.
Not the way the other ones are.
They're not enemies, though. They're just not friends.
Yeah, we don't really have anybody from over there.
They're like neighbors. We see them, they see us, but we're not like, man, let's go hang out with those people.
Acquaintances. Yeah, we're acquaintances. We're acquaintances with Channel 5. So they have a report. Kansas City trails all U.S. host cities as demand tracks below World Cup expectations. I mean, we can play the audio if you want, but the headline of the story is that Kansas City is betting on a last-minute rush. There is not going to be a last-minute rush. This just does not seem like one of the things in which you are you are not traveling internationally on this late a notice for an event that starts next month in Kansas City. You made that decision a long time ago if you were coming. Now, I also understand, I don't think this is a knock on Kansas City. Let's be honest. If you plan on going to a World Cup game, would Kansas City be very high on your list of stadiums that you need to go to? When they're in New York, they're in Miami, they're in Los Angeles, they're in Cowboys Stadium. Like, I never thought that Kansas City was going to be the hub for a lot of these things. Now, we do get one Argentina game, but outside of that, I don't know enough about soccer, but the other remaining games that we have in the pool play, they just don't seem like games that I would travel for to Kansas City to go to, where I could go to more, luxurious cities if I'm going to make this a vacation because I just want to see the World Cup. So I still think a lot of people are coming. Like, I don't think it's going to be empty. I don't think it's going to be a dud in that way. But I feel very strongly now in saying all of the estimations that they gave us ever since the announcement of how many people were coming to Kansas City was a fabrication. They made that up completely.
Isn't that how all stadium math works? Like, how many times have you seen a stadium built?
I don't know if that's the case for all cities that are participating in the World Cup.
That's fair.
But they made it seem like, you remember, they made it seem like everybody could Airbnb their house. Every restaurant was going to be full. Every people just party in the streets at all hours. They got this 23-hour bar rule on both Missouri and Kansas. I think we have done a lot to prepare for something that is not nearly going to be as crazy as we think. Almost every single metric keeps saying that. The hotels keep saying that. The airport people keep saying that. Well, if you aren't flying here and you aren't, what are you doing? What was your plan? You were planning on driving here and staying in a tent? That was your plan when you came to the World Cup? Again, I'm not saying people are not going. I'm not saying that people are not going to be excited. But the original number that they told us, I think we get like 30% of that.
I mean, this is the exact, it's starting to trend toward the exact same thing that happened in the NFL draft. Now, I understand the difference. The NFL draft is a 3-day event. The World Cup's like 6 weeks. But remember with the NFL draft, it was, we're going to get the draft. You're going to have all these people downtown. There's going to be a real come up. Shops and restaurants did not feel this come up around the NFL draft. Really, the only place that felt it was the NFL draft. It was NFL fans came in town, they went to the draft, they left. It's trending more and more like that. We were getting told, oh, watch out for this huge economic boom. And I'm sure Arrowhead or Kansas City Stadium will feel a boom, but I don't know it's to the level people thought they were going to experience.
Yeah,
I also would tell you still, I imagine Kansas City is holding out a lot of hope because they have a quarterfinal match. And if they get Argentina against Portugal in the quarterfinal match, that will do insane numbers for the city. Because that would be Ronaldo and Messi's last match against each other.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, Channel 5, they are the only ones saying that the hotels are not booked, yet nobody can find hotels anywhere. I mean, I can read you directly from the story. The American Hotel and Lodging Association released an Outlook report for the United States ahead of the World Cup, stating that hotel demand is tracking below expectations across most U.S. markets. It also went on to say that Kansas City has emerged as the most negatively impacted host market in the survey, which makes sense. I mean, it's the smallest city that is participating in the World Cup, so that also makes sense. It then goes on to say roughly 85 or 90% of hotel survey respondents reported that the booking pace was below expectations and trailing a typical June or July, which also makes a lot of sense. Like, if you were planning on coming to Kansas City, I think you have known for 6 weeks. If you were coming from like out of town, hey, we'll come around the World Cup, but we are not coming to Kansas City during that time because of how expensive it is going to be. Again, I'm pro World Cup. I don't want you guys to think that I'm not. I have World Cup tickets. I support the World Cup. I still think it's a scam. It has a lot of scam energy, in my opinion. A lot of scam energy around it.
I'm sure whenever Kansas City gets its Super Bowl, I'm sure stories will look very similar. It'll be the same. It's the same. So the text line makes this point. These mega events walk in and say they're going to do massive numbers. They do well, but yeah,
for sure.
I'm sure outside like the Big Five, if you ask Detroit, how'd the Super Bowl do for the town? I bet they feel like it's a little bit under what they were expecting.
It's a very fair point. I agree. I don't disagree with that.
The Olympics is also an example. I don't think, it wasn't Salt Lake City. It was like somewhere else in Utah. Didn't feel the boom they anticipated.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, you said nationwide. I don't want to read the whole article to you, but I can. Properties describing FIFA block cancellation reaching 70%, more than 70% in Kansas City. These factors have left the market oversupplied, underperforming, and rating highly relative to a normal summer benchmark. Again, I will say I don't really have any reason to believe that the original numbers that we have are going to be indicative of how many people are actually coming to Kansas City. The airport is saying that their logs are not matching what people are saying. The hotel's agency is saying that it's not matching the amount of people. This is the World Cup. If you have decided that you are flying in from Argentina to watch your team play, I think you just would have made that decision before May 4th. I don't think it's going to be nearly as chaotic, as hectic as I think we were led to believe that it could potentially be. All right, coming up on the side, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit of football. Rob, there is a player that is emerging as the most bet player to win MVP this year. I'll tell you who it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Feature therapy.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Baseball is back, and BetMGM, official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boost, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boost, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal, a delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal, a satisfying meal full of big flavor for great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
Tonight, expect possible showers and thunderstorms with a low of 53.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Replacing your HVAC doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. For a limited time, take advantage of an HVAC replacement with financing starting as low as $149 a month. More options, better timing, and less stress for your home.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Got a new crash, and it is down at 435 westbound and 69. You'll tap your brakes through there. We're seeing some red. We've also got, on top of that, let's see, westbound 435 at Metcalf. That's a stall. And then Kansas side of things coming headed into downtown 670 eastbound just past 7th. Big delays through there affecting both directions. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Follow the station on Instagram at The Fan 965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Rob, let me ask you a question. It has nothing to do with sports, but we all are dealing with. What's the emotion you feel right now when you got to stop and get gas? Like when you're standing there at the pump and you're watching the meter and it's going past levels. It hasn't been that high in a long. What's the emotion you're feeling right there?
I mean, I don't watch anymore because it just pain's the answer. I mean, it's just whew. I'm happy I have the Hy-Vee Perks plan where I can buy some food and get some money off. But even then, just they ain't giving me $2 or $3 off.
It's ridiculous. I got to start shopping at Hy-Vee. I'm a price shopper, man, myself. I got to start going to Hy-Vee.
Got to get that Perks card. I got 17 cents off the other day. Now it made it go from, God, that sucks, to oof, but still better.
Yeah. It went from $4 to $3.71. You're like, oh, I got a deal.
I had a parade.
You think you got a deal going on. No, you don't got a deal. It's ridiculous. It hurts. That's what it is. It hurts. All right, let's talk some sports. I want to read something to you guys. So this is from BetMGM. Caleb Williams is the most popular ticket right now for MVP. You can get him right now at 16-1. Joe Burrow is the second most popular ticket. He is at 10-1. Josh Allen is number 3. He is at 6-1. Bo Nix at 35-1. And Patrick Mahomes, you can get him right now at 10-1 odds to win the Super Bowl, which actually feels like pretty good value to me for Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to play week 1. The Chiefs offense has a chance, I think, of finishing top 10. A bounce-back year for Mahomes, a bounce-back year for the Chiefs. I think we're past the concept of voter fatigue with Mahomes. So if he has a chance, they're not going to be like, oh, let's give it to this guy because he wins it all the time. I think Mahomes at 10-1 actually makes a lot of sense. Caleb Williams is 16-1. I think is a pretty good value. So I'm not surprised that other people kind of see it that same way as well. I mean, we're talking about a small number. We're talking about 12% of tickets, but Caleb Williams is 16-1 to just continue to take a step forward and him to be an MVP candidate this year feels like a pretty good bet to me.
Did you say Burrow was the second most bet?
Yeah, Burrow is second right now, 10-1.
I'm surprised he's getting that much love. Some of this is narrative, and you got to have a good season and have your team be good. I'm not sure the Bengals are going to be good again this year, which would hurt his chances. I will say, you're right. Mahomes is a good value bet for MVP. Do you know Mahomes is a lock for comeback player of the year?
He shouldn't even be eligible for the comeback player of the year.
I don't disagree at all, but I'm just telling you what he's a lock for. He missed 3 games. He had to go through the rehab process. He's back by week 1. That's incredible, and he balls out.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not coming back from something because he obviously is coming back from something. But just if you started 14 games last year and then you play week 1 the next season, I just don't think you are in the spirit of the comeback player of the year award, in my opinion. I would not vote for Patrick Mahomes for that reason. I mean, I'm with you. He will probably be the favorite. And I'm looking at Vegas. I mean, he is the betting favorite to win the award. But he missed 3 games in December, and he came back the next year and potentially started week 1. That's not comeback player of the year, in my opinion.
I have to think that one's more the spirit of the rule than, like, some people wouldn't comeback player of the year when they come back from being bad. Like, that's not how the rule's supposed to work. Remember the year Joe Flacco won it? What did he have? What affliction really held him down?
It's actually really a silly award.
It's a very silly award. Daniel Jones, probably one of the betting favorites, too, I'm betting, because he'll come back and he was hurt. But, yeah, at least Mahomes got hurt. Some of the people who have won it, all they had was a bad season, and they came back from struggling. That's not how the award works.
So right now, I have it pulled up here. The comeback player of the year, Mahomes is the favorite. Kyler Murray is second. Malik Neighbors is third. George Kittle, Nick Bosa, and Fred Warner. Those are the top six. Was Kyler Murray hurt last year? I don't even remember. Was Kyler?
He must have been, because they started Jacoby Brissett a bunch. But I think when he got healthy, they kept starting Brissett.
Okay, I can't remember. You know what? I don't really remember a whole lot from last season. How Arizona performed. Like we just
bad. I know that's the draft. They did bad.
We just didn't spend a lot of time talking about it. I'm not sure if I watched Arizona last year outside of watching them on Red Zone. I've almost blacked out of my mind what the Arizona Cardinals did last year. All I know is Marvin Harrison did not come close to living up to what he was supposed to live up to. Marvin Harrison right now should be considered a top 5 receiver in the league based on how we talked about him coming out of Ohio State, and he has been anything but that.
Is he the worst
He's
Ohio
not
State?
one of the 5 best receivers in his own division.
Is he the biggest Ohio State receiver bust recently?
I think he might honestly be the only wide receiver bust they've had from Ohio State. Think of the other ones that they've had. Everybody else is good. Emeka Egbuka is good. JSN's good. Jameson, like these guys are good.
Olave's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He might be the only bust.
Garrett Wilson's good. He's not as good as people thought he'd be, but he's good. Yeah,
for sure. I'm saying is Garrett Wilson was good enough to get a second contract. Would you give Marvin Harrison Jr. a second contract?
No, I would not give him a second contract.
What's Marvin Harrison's best year? I didn't think we were going to start talking about Marvin Harrison, but this is actually kind of interesting to me. Marvin Harrison last year, 41 catches, 608 yards. You know who he is? He's Xavier Worthy. That's who he was last year. He was Xavier Worthy.
What was he his rookie year?
Nah, he was much better than that. He had 62 catches for 885 and 8 touchdowns.
Oh, that's big regression.
Yeah, then he was dealing with an injury this year. He could really use a big season this year to get his 5th-year option picked up. He could really use a big season.
Well, that's going to happen with his quarterback being Carson Beck? Is that
Carson Beck is crazy.
I mean, it's Carson Beck and Jacoby Brissett are in a preseason battle. So you know how the Cardinals are in the arch sweepstakes, just so we all know going into the season.
I was actually about to ask a silly question. What do you make of the Chiefs not picking up the 5th-year option for Felix Anudike? And I'm honestly a little bit excited for this year for him. Like, he feels to me right on the cusp. Like, would you be surprised?
On the cusp of what?
Being out of the league.
Oh, okay.
Like, out of the league. I'm just saying so far, he will get this year in Kansas City. I would say maybe he gets past. They scouted him. Kind of we talk about the Brett Veach special. Like, he doesn't have too many more years of trying to prove it in the league. First 2 underperforming.
Him, other than his age, is he does play a position where teams will take a chance. They're not taking a chance like he'll be a starter.
One chance.
Yes. He'll get one chance. It'll be a bad team. That'll be where he gets his chance. He will go be a Brown for a year. And if he shows a little something, he can stay in the league. But his draft status is trending way more Breland speaks than anything else.
Coming up at the top of the hour, let's continue to talk a little bit of Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is going to play in week 1. They are laying out the entire storyline right before us. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Got a new crash, and it is down at 435 westbound and 69. You'll tap your brakes through there. We're seeing some red. We've also got, on top of that, let's see, westbound 435 at Metcalf. That's a stall. And then Kansas side of things coming headed into downtown 670 eastbound just past 7th. Big delays through there affecting both directions. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel can make watching the NBA playoffs more exciting because right now new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets for just getting started. The action in the NBA playoffs are heating up. FanDuel is making it even easier to get closer to all the action, from player props on your favorite stars, stats, and trends. FanDuel has all the tools that you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet on the players that you love the way you want. Visit FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game, America's #1 sportsbook app, and FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue, the non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt, which you can apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play. If you've been putting off some much-needed painting, don't wait any longer. Call CertaPro Painters now. They'll provide a free estimate quickly and at the right price. And you never have to wonder what's next. They provide reliable communication and updates because they know how important your home is to you. Take advantage of CertaPro's spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects before May 15th. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
This Mother's Day, treat all of the moms in your life like a queen. No, wait, an empress. With a little help from Hy-Vee. Surprise her with a stunning floral arrangement, or choose from dozens of gift cards for some retail therapy. Then bring the whole family to brunch at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for children 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. Just one stop for endless options to crown her queen for the day. Only at Hy-Vee.
Moms are the most important people in our life, and she deserves to be honored on Mother's Day. This year, treat your mom to an amazing brunch at Hy-Vee with fresh eggs, crispy bacon and sausage, biscuits and gravy, fresh fruit, sweet treats, and so much more. You can bring the whole family for just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for kids 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. It's Mother's Day brunch at Hy-Vee. They have everything to honor Mom. So make this Mother's Day the most memorable ever, only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
right, coming up in a little bit, I actually want to talk a little bit of NBA. We'll talk about Joel Embiid. The Sixers pull off the upset against the Boston Celtics, and Joel Embiid is playing exceptionally well. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Now, this is not me going on some conspiracy theory. I don't think the NFL is scripted. I don't think it's fake. I don't think any of those things. But it is important to note that the NFL is a television show. A television show has characters. A television show has story arcs. It has a plot to it. It has its twists and turns and surprises. All would sound like the NFL to me. It is obvious what one of the character plots is going to be for one of the main characters. Patrick Mahomes, face of the league, down year last year, coming back from injury. Can he get back to his MVP form coming up on Fox? I mean, it's obvious to see what they are doing. I am now as sure as I have ever been. I would wager my life savings on this. Patrick Mahomes is going to play week 1 of the NFL season. Now, there was a time I did not think that was going to be the case. I thought he was going to start on the PUP list, but they're dropping little teasers. For those of you that watch Marvel movies, they're dropping little Easter eggs to let you know what's going to happen in the next movie. All you had to do was sit through the credits. They've been dropping hints now for 3 weeks that Patrick Mahomes is going to play in week 1. We got the report from Nate Taylor, who's with ESPN, that Patrick Mahomes is going to participate in OTAs. All right, seems pretty important. I mean, that's the first organized team football activity. Patrick Mahomes so far has not missed anything this offseason with the Chiefs. He has been there. If he's at OTAs, he will have not missed anything with the Chiefs. Sure, he missed the end of the season. I think you can argue that I wouldn't have wanted Patrick Mahomes playing in those games anyway if the Chiefs were going to be mathematically eliminated. He doesn't play in those games. Now the following year, on the first day of school, Patrick Mahomes is going to be there. Then you start to hear more and more from the decision makers with the Chiefs. Here's Andy Reid when he was asked about a potential return to OTAs.
Yeah, we've got to see on that. He is in a good position to be able to do some things. There's some rules and regulations that go with that, Herbie. So we got to just make sure that we're on top of that part. But if he can do some things, phase 2, remember, is there's no contact, there's no offense versus defense. So it's phase 3 that you get into that, and once you start the clock, then the clock's got to be rolling. So you just have to evaluate what you want to do there. But he's in a position where he can do everything, I think. So
he's in a position where he can do everything. Patrick Mahomes is already doing non-contact stuff. Now, I don't think Patrick is getting tackled during this stage of his recovery, but I mean, we've seen the video. You don't think Patrick Mahomes is practicing throwing the football? Like his first time is going to be, he's going to show up in August? Hey, I'm here. No, he's doing all of those things now. So if now you're asking Pat to go through a non-contact football drill just with my teammates and friends around, sounds like what he's already been doing working out. So I would say that Andy just told you, hey, he's ahead of schedule. He looks good. He's been participating. We're going to get him out there. Once the clock starts, they know the significance of him participating in OTAs. It wasn't just Andy Reid. Brett Veach was on Sirius XM. Listen to what he said about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, so I don't want to speak for Rick. I will say this, and I think it wouldn't surprise you guys that, the way it's been really inspiring just to see. I mean, in my mind, I've been there before with Pat. I mean, he had that dislocated knee and worked his tail off and came back in 3 weeks. And, I knew that this bump in the road wouldn't slow him down at all. But, I mean, this guy's been in the building, especially like a player that has accomplished everything and, can do anything he wants. I mean, he can hire his own trainers. He can be wherever he wants. I mean, he's in our building every single day. And even when he goes away for a few days, say to Dallas for a weekend with his family, I mean, he takes one of our trainers with him. So needless to say, he's way ahead of schedule. I think the biggest challenge that we're going to have is protecting him against himself, because I'm sure when we get to St. Joe, Missouri for training camp, he's going to want to be full go, but we're going to have to hold him back a little. And again, I don't want to put a timetable on it, but I think you guys know the type of person and competitor Pat is. And, I would just say we're in a really good place right now.
look at this like a television show with characters and a storyline and an arc, it is obvious to me that Patrick Mahomes is going to play in week 1. It is very, very obvious to me that that is going to be the case. Now, I don't want to be doom and gloom or hot take guy, but one thing I would be worried about with Pat, as he is pushing himself very hard and ahead of schedule, and we've seen this before with other injuries, usually when you are pushing yourself, your body, that might not be, even though mentally, and you can still do some of the things, the rest of your body is trying to overcompensate for this injury. Now, I understand it's a different injury, but I think you can argue that just happened with Jason Tatum. I don't know if Jason Tatum was supposed to play basketball this year. I don't know if he was supposed to. And then when the games got high leverage and stressful, who wasn't on the floor with another lower leg injury? Jason Tatum. That stuff matters. The injuries, I know people don't want to hear this. They're starting to pile up for Patrick Mahomes, which makes sense. He plays football for a living. But he had a knee injury where he dislocated and twisted his knee. He has had multiple high ankle sprain injuries. I don't think he was healthy at the end of the season and was just trying to push his body because I'm a competitor. I want to be out here. If I can walk and I can run and I feel like myself. But you remember, that last game against the Chargers, Patrick Mahomes did not look like himself. Then he has this significant knee injury in which you spend a large portion of the offseason trying to recover. In some ways, there probably needs to be a different version of Patrick Mahomes because his body is just going to be different. One thing I think we all do as sports fans, always healthy, he had surgery, he's back on the field. No, those things take something out of you every time that you do it. You play a very dangerous game, a very brutal game where you're constantly getting hit and you're constantly being knocked down to the ground and you're constantly pushing your body. So some of the things with Mahomes, the running around, the improvisation, a lot of those things, can he still do those things at the level that he is used to doing it? Does he trust his body? How is his body going to hold up once he starts to get hit? Right now, yes, you can create high impact as much as Bobby Strope can do it. Ain't nothing like playing football. And then you got 300-pound people hitting you, laying on your body. You then run and just a lot of things. So I'm hopeful. We all are optimistic about it. Again, I firmly believe that he is going to play week 1, but him just being on the field for week 1 is not the end of the conversation, at least when it comes to me and Patrick Mahomes' health. And is he still going to be the same superhero that he has always been? Which is a major reason of why I think the Chiefs built their team in the way that they are trying to build it. They heavily invested in running the football. They have heavily invested in playing defense. Now, I don't think that means they're playing 2015 Chiefs football with Alex Smith, but the Chiefs cannot go into this season asking their quarterback to do absolutely everything. You got to throw the ball. You got to run the ball. You got to do all of these things and decisions. It is in everybody's best interest to make the game a little bit easier and to take some of the burden off of their, 31-year-old quarterback? Mahomes is now entering his 10th season. Think about that. He's entering year 10 for Mahomes. That's what we're talking about. He's been doing this for a very, very long time.
I think what Brett Veach at the end of that Sirius XM cut is the most important part. We have to protect Pat from Pat. That kind of highlights what you were saying about Jason Tatum. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes is making all the throws at home, and the video he put on his Instagram where he's planting off his right leg, I'm sure he's starting to feel like himself again. But you do not, if you're the Chiefs, want him rushed through this process, because if he goes at 100 miles an hour through this thing and he feels fine, but he was unaware of a setback happening and didn't listen to his body because he's trying to get back, the Chiefs are worse off long term. So I think what Brett Veach just said is perfect. It's not Pat telling him, hey, I'm going to slow play this and I'm going to be 100. I think the Chiefs need to, at times, de-accelerate what Patrick Mahomes is doing. I'm happy he's ahead of schedule, but let's not rush things, because the other thing the Chiefs did this offseason, Carrington, for the first time in you and I's lifetime, they've really invested in backup quarterback. Like, they have a former first-round pick as a backup quarterback. They drafted a quarterback who 12 months ago was considered an automatic first-round guy in Garrett Nussmeier. Like, you're right. They've invested in being a running first team now. They've also invested in, we're protected if something goes wrong, so don't worry about being back. I do think he'll be back, but I think they have to protect Pat from Pat.
Yeah, and someone on the text line says, "Seat out, let's not start this. He's never missed an important game in his career." I think I'm practicing some logic here. Patrick Mahomes is entering year 10. Now we're also counting 2017, so it's technically year 9, but Mahomes has been in the league for 10 years. A majority of his injuries have been lower body leg injuries. I don't think this is even this is not jinxing it. We think that Patrick Mahomes is done being hurt in his NFL career. It's always been an ankle thing. It's always been a leg thing. It's always been any of those things. So I'm just saying the injuries are starting. He plays football for a living. So he's going to get tackled again. Someone that's just kind of par for the course with Mahomes. I think just preparing yourself for that in the ways that I think they have, I think this is the best backup quarterback that they've had since he's been here. This is the most investment that they've made in the run game since he has been here. I think they are acknowledging that when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and how do we make it work as his body is changing and as his game starts to change. How do we do our best to keep him healthy, keep him upright, and keep him playing football at an incredibly high level? That's just the responsibility of the organization. We'll get back to the Royals here coming up in a little bit. I do want to talk about this. I asked Rob this question. Rob, what are you most excited about heading into the season? Because I know the answer is not Kenneth Walker. I told Rob to tell me on the air. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is out of here.
Man, if your strain isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons?
Yep.
Decorations?
Yes.
Streamers, cups, table covers?
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy 2 get 1 free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best parties start at Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In-store or buy online. Pick up in-store only.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. And don't miss out on the special Royals props for every game. Download Circus Sports app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal. A delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal. A satisfying meal full of big flavor for a great value. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where fine jewelry is always crafted with care no matter the price. Mother's Day, birthdays and graduations, weddings and anniversaries, the new job you got, and even the one you didn't. Give a birthstone necklace, a heart-shaped locket made in Italy, or high-quality diamond studs you can trade up every year. At Shane Company, we have something for everyone, because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Harris, Kansas City is giving away $150,000 in prizes this mid-year's Eve. Saturday, June 6th. One lucky guest will walk away with $50,000 in cold hard cash at midnight. And leading up to the big finale, we are calling names to win $2,500 in free play every 15 minutes. The best part? You can earn entries all throughout May and June. Don't miss the hottest celebration of the summer, only at Harris, Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the ranch.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
At Telly Tire, when it comes to car problems, we've heard it all. From tires to timing belts to faulty air conditioning. Ooh. At Telly Tire and Auto Centers, we've been fixing problems like these and customers' bad days for over 80 years. So relax and take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Renner Garage Door is giving back. 5% of sales go to Authentic Life Foundation, and you get 5% off your project. Visit rennerdoor.com.
RENNER, RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Very slow through downtown now. It's a multi-car crash. 670 eastbound just before 35. Two left lanes are blocked. And yep, there, oh yeah, a lot of red, I see. We've also got 35 southbound past Mission. That's a stall off to the right shoulder, blocking part of the right lane. And the crash down at 435 westbound on the ramp to 69. Slow through there. That's a two-car crash. I'm Valwood Traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, you know what? We're going to talk a little bit of Chiefs in this segment. We're going to sprinkle in a little bit of Royals, so you don't got to go anywhere for like the next 20 minutes or so. Let's start with football because that's what we were just talking about. So I asked Rob this question, and I told Rob, don't tell me. I don't want to know your answer. I want you to tell me when you tell everybody else. I promise you I do not know the answer to this. So we were getting ready for the show today. I looked at Rob and I said, Rob, what are you most excited about this year? Because I think a lot of people, their answer would be Kenneth Walker, but I know that's not your answer. Like, what are you most excited about heading into the year? And he had that look on his face like that. I said, don't tell me. Well, Rob, now is the time where I want you to tell me and I want you to tell everybody, as a known running back, running game hater, so you don't like their biggest free agent acquisition, What are you most excited about with the Chiefs heading into this season?
The defense. I think what Brett Veach has done with the defense is the exact same game plan that he implemented in 2022. You'll remember, they made the big trade in 2022. They sent Tyreek Hill to Miami. That offseason, the defense changed immensely. They had signed Justin Reed because Tyrann Mathieu was out of town. That was a thing. People were like, oh, they're going to re-sign Honey Badger? They didn't do that. They brought in Brian Cook. They brought in Trent McDuffie. They brought in Jalen Watson. They brought in Joshua Williams, who at the time people felt like was going to be a better corner than he ended up being. They had Nick Bolton going into year 2. Like, they had George Karlaftis on the roster. They were young. I believe they were the youngest starting defense in the NFL. Like, that was a big talking point. And they basically, in one off season, made the defense younger, faster, better. They were one of the better defenses in the NFL, and it was one of the reasons why they won a Super Bowl. Fast forward to this offseason, they've kind of done the same thing. They've washed out the old and in with the new. Brian Cook, you did a great job here. Goodbye. We're getting younger at your position. Trent McDuffie, it's a money thing. We love you. You're great. Goodbye. Jalen Watson, goodbye. Now, Noah Williams and Delane are going to be your starting corners. I mean, it might be a situation where Christian Fulton doesn't even start for this team. I could see that being the scenario if that Canada kid from Oregon's any good. You now have a new pass rusher in R. Mason Thomas. You have Peter Woods and Tonga, who's a younger, he's not young, but he's not old at defensive tackle. Like, what I'm excited about is that Brett Veach took the 2022 blueprint, copy and pasted it, and put it onto this team. That's the thing that I'm most excited about seeing for the upcoming season is they got younger, more explosive, faster on defense.
I am really intrigued to see if their plan works. I mean, it is very obvious to me that the Chiefs had a plan. Look at the investment that they've spent in running the football. I mean, they've completely turned over the room at running back. The only running back that's on the roster from last year is Brashard Smith, and you have to assume that his role is going to be either what it was or just significantly diminished, right?
Or cut, for sure. Are we sure he's making the roster?
Certainly a possibility. And then you're right on defense. I mean, they had a defensive philosophy. All of the conversations that we had about finding Travis Kelce's replacement or going out and finding a new wide receiver, the Chiefs don't seem to think there's a lot of urgency to go do those things right now. Like, you'd have been perfectly fine if they had spent, let's say they had spent the 40th overall pick on Eli Stowers. I think that would have been well received. Hey, this guy's going to be the Travis Kelce replacement. But no, they continue to load up on defense. They loaded up on defense at almost every single turn this year in the NFL draft. I am excited to see if their plan works, and I'm also really excited to see if Veach can start to do some of the things that Dorsey did. Now, I know we ultimately compare the two, but if you look at it, I mean, Dorsey drafted superstars, foundational players that you could win a championship with. We talk a lot about Brett Veach and hitting singles and doubles. I mean, eventually, if you're talking about going to and winning other Super Bowls, you got to start hitting some of your own home runs. You got to start finding your own Hall of Fame running back, your own Hall of Fame wide receiver, your own Hall of Fame defensive player, the way that Chris Jones was. So you look at some of these guys, you look at the future, you look at what they could potentially be. You're going to hit on some guys, you're going to miss on some guys. Like, that's just the NFL draft. How many of these guys that they have invested significant resources into the last 2 years on the defensive side, how many of those guys can turn into foundational pieces that you can build around? Obviously, we got to wait to see.
I also think, I mean, not to get too deep in the weeds of the Dorsey versus Veach comparison, I do think sometimes we unfair to Veach because I think he drafted one of those guys, and Trent McDuffie, they just traded him. Like, Trent McDuffie is that guy on this defense, or was before they traded him. But the defense rebuild is what has me excited. I also think, to one of the reasons I'm excited about the defense rebuild, how many times did you hear this last football season on this show, Mitch Holthus talk about how the defense you look at with the Seahawks is what he wants the Chiefs to look like? The Seahawks defense that absolutely dominated the league last year and helped really dominate the Patriots in the Super Bowl was not a bunch of 31-year-olds running around making plays. It was dudes on first and second, tail end of second contracts. It is young players. I don't have an age 1-for-1 up in front of me with the Seahawks and Chiefs defense, but I'm betting if we look at each team, you'd be like, oh, the Chiefs defense is starting to look more similar in age and speed to what Seattle had last year, to what Denver had last year. And Denver may have been the best defense in the NFL if it wasn't Seattle. Like, I think that's the reason I'm excited is I keep hearing Mitch Holtz's voice ring out in my head about, you know, you get off the field on third down. You got to have speed everywhere. You got to be able to knock the ball down and have corners and safeties that can press. That's what Seattle did. Well, that's what Kansas City is now trying to do in 2026. So that's the thing where you're like, hey, what are you most excited about? It's that new look defense.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, the secondary is worse. The linebacker crew is worse. The defensive line only has 2 players that are legit on it, and one is well beyond his prime. Offensive line is even at best, probably worse. Wide receiver worse, tight end older. Yeah, I'm not as down on the roster as this person is either. I do think there are 2 stats that I think if the Chiefs could just fix those 2 stats, I think they could be a significantly better team. Mostly on defense. I'll give you the 2 stats. Last year, Rob, did you know that the Chiefs defense, they were 29th in third down stops last year? The only teams worse than Kansas City at getting off the field on third down were Carolina, Las Vegas, and Dallas last year. I would say another stat I will give you. It is takeaways. There are only 3 teams in the NFL that forced fewer turnovers than Kansas City: Dallas, Washington, and the Jets. So if the Chiefs could just be a better defense on 3rd and 7, and we all remember these scenarios last year, it'd be 3rd and 11. The opposing offense would get a 15-yard gain. It would make you want to rip your hair out as you were watching the Chiefs. If they could get better at that, and I'm sorry, you got to be able to take the football away. And for all the pieces that the Chiefs have on defense and Watson and McDuffie and all of these guys, they do not take the football away from other teams. They just don't. That defense didn't force fumbles. Rob, they forced 4 fumbles last year. So you having an ability to take the football away can mask a lot of the other issues that you can have potentially on defense. So if you can't get pressure the way the Chiefs couldn't really consistently get pressure last year, you also couldn't get stops on third down last year based on the numbers, and you also can't take the football away. How good was last year's defense?
I don't think I agree with you, but you look at these Chiefs Super Bowl teams years past, I don't think they need to fix both. They just need to fix one or the other. If the third down thing is better, I don't think we're going to complain about takeaways. The Chiefs were, 15-2 the year before, and Trent McDuffie had his first career interception. It wasn't like the Chiefs' defense was the most opportunistic defense in the history of the NFL, and they were still good. Last year, it just was worse than usual, and they weren't getting off the field on third down. If you fix one of those things and you start making those third down conversions ipso facto turnover, your defense just turns over and gets better in the blink of an eye. I don't think they need to fix both. Both would be great, but if you fix one or the other, your defense just looks better and your offense can have shorter field, the whole thing.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, the Chiefs linebackers are going to stink. They didn't come close to addressing that. Watch these teams run all over us. In terms of Chiefs concerns, this is near the bottom for me. Hey, I don't think the Chiefs have really ever had good linebackers during this time frame. I think they've had one really strong linebacker in Nick Bolton, and I think they've just kind of figured it out around Nick Bolton. I also just think your team's going to be weak in certain areas for the most part. Like you're going to be deficient in some areas. If you're telling me that linebacker is the place on the field you think they're most deficient, they're okay. And I would say they have invested their resources correctly this offseason if that's what you feel.
You know how I feel about linebacker. Linebacker is the running back of the defense. It is not the most important position on the field. They got significantly better at defensive line and defensive tackle this offseason. So I'm not worried about teams running the ball because of a weakness at linebacker with the Chiefs. Are they worse at linebacker on paper? Yeah, probably. But I don't think it's like devastatingly bad at linebacker right now.
I don't want to parse words here, and I do want to get to the Royals, but you said you thought their defensive line was better. I'm not necessarily sure if their defensive line is better. They have given themselves a chance at a much higher ceiling, though.
It's deeper. Is that a better way for me to say it? 'Cause like last year, who was their defensive tackle rotation? It was Jones, who's still Jones, Derek Nottie. He stunk. We can't get over how bad that trade was.
He was not good last year.
Mike Pennell and Jerry Tillery. It is impossible for me to imagine a scenario where Jones, Tonga, and Peter Woods are worse than that. It's possible. You're right. It would blow my mind if that's worse than the Tillery-Noddy combination.
That makes a lot of sense to me, but I guess I would say, outside of Tonga, they just have nothing but question marks with everybody else, which your question marks could end up working out. Like, a couple of those guys could be good. Ashton Gelati could take a big step forward next year. If Ashton Gelati could get 8.5 sacks next year, that is a huge plus for this team. And that's a guy that you need to start the conversation of, hey, in a year, we're probably going to have to pay him because that's how this thing works. You've got Omar Norman-Lott. He's coming back. Can he stay healthy? You're going to have an injury at some point because you always are going to deal with injuries in these things. So you aren't wrong in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you can say it's better or worse just based on the moves that they've made, but I do think they have given themselves a chance. We've seen enough Jerry Tillery to know what he is. You've seen enough Mike Pennell to know what he is. You've seen enough Derek Noddy that you let Derek Noddy go in free agency, and then you traded a 7th-round pick to bring him back. You know what Derek Noddy is. For the most part on their defensive line, you have no clue what any of these guys are. You don't know what Peter Woods is. You don't know what Ashton Gelati is. You don't know what R. Mason Thomas is. So that at least gives you some hope, some optimism heading into the year where I don't know if you could have had that last year. If you were at the point where in August you got to call back Mike Pennell and Derek Noddy, your defensive line is in trouble. That should have been a sign.
I 100% agree. I also think what you're describing with a lot of question marks, that's just the nature of young players. Technically at corner, they have more question marks this year than they had last year. Last year, Trent McDuffie was a known commodity. Jalen Watts was a known commodity. This year, Noel Williams and Mansour Delane are question marks. But they're question marks because they're young. They're not question marks because I think they're worse. So I think to the texter who says that, I would agree they have a lot more question marks, but that's just the nature of having young players. Young players, sometimes the question marks become explanation points. Sometimes they continue to be question marks. But I think I'd rather find out with a 24-year-old if he's the guy than rolling with a 31-year-old. That's just the risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, CDOT, the Dallas linebackers have been garbage. Teams run the ball against them. Is that not what you are thinking for the Chiefs? Rob, how can you say running backs don't matter? The last player to run for over 100 yards against Kansas City's defense was Lamar Jackson in the first game in 2024. Remember the game, the Isaiah Likely back of the end zone, his foot was out of bounds? It's the last time that a player ran for over 100 yards against the Chiefs. So I'm just saying I don't think their linebacker room has ever been incredibly strong. They just have schemed and figured out a way to slow down other teams. So everybody's allowed to be worried about something else with the defense. Them not having good enough linebackers to stop the run is not something that I am particularly worried about heading into the team, and I think is actually kind of low in terms of things you should be worried about with the Chiefs.
Also, as far as their starting linebackers, aren't their starting linebackers the same? They bring back Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill. Okay, they lose Leo Chenal, but they replace him with Jeffrey Bassa. So maybe they get a little worse there, but how is having the same group largely a sign of massive problems where other position groups that have been washed out is a positive? It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's the same group. It's just Jeffrey different. That's the only difference at all.
I don't know. I'm just telling you with the text line. Text line's obviously very worried about stopping the run now is a concern for the text line. I'm here to read to you. Let's talk about Jack Caglione for a little bit. It's been a while since I think you and I have had a Jack Caglione conversation. You know what? Jack Caglione has actually been very, very good for the Royals these last couple of weeks. He's starting to figure some things out a little bit. It kind of feels like that one scene on Happy Gilmore where Happy learns to putt a little bit. Rob, can I give you the numbers? Can I give you the numbers on a Jack Caglione right now? Jack Caglione in 30 games, less than 100 ABs. He almost has as many hits as he had last. So last year, Rob, he played in 62 games and had 33 hits. So far this season, he has played in 30 games and has 25 hits. So substantially better. Last year in 62 games, he had 6 doubles. He already has 5 doubles in 30 games. Last year, he had 7 home runs. He already has 3 this year. If you are looking at other statistics, he's going to blow away a lot of these other things. Batting average wise, he is 100 points higher than what he was last year. He hit 157 last year. He's at 255 this year. On base percentage is up 100 points from last year. Slugging percentage was at 295. It's currently at 418 right now for the Kansas City Royals. Jack Caglione is starting to figure some things out. He is. He's really starting to figure some things out. We're talking about a 23-year-old Now, I don't think anybody sold their stock on Jack Caglione, and maybe it took a little bit longer than people thought it was going to be, but we're still not talking about a guy with a lot of experience. Rob, he has less than 100 games. He has less than 500 plate appearances. He just crossed the 300 ABs this series against Seattle. So this, to me, seems to be on brand for me, especially for a player who, just by definition, was rushed through the minor leagues. He didn't play a lot of minor league baseball. So we're talking about a guy who his plate discipline has improved, and we've always kind of mentioned, and I kind of laughed at it a little bit. I don't make it seem like I was always the biggest believer, but remember we were saying, oh, he's hitting the ball hard. He was hitting the ball hard. He's now starting to get hits in big-time spots for the Royals, and that's good. So I just want to give you the stats on Jack Caglione if you haven't been paying attention. He has been noticeably better this year than he has been last year, and is really starting to figure some things out and really starting to turn the corner and be one of the offensive players that they can rely on.
You could argue that right now he's been their most important power hitter. Vinny's been not what he's sold to be. Salvi's struggled to start the year. Bobby, relative to Bobby standards, has struggled. Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen have been the ones holding it down to make the offense go. I'm not saying he's living up to what J.J. Cooper said he'd be when he came on this show. I mean, J.J. Cooper was talking about him like he was Mickey Mantle. Like, I don't know he's that. But he's looking way more like the guys people talked about in Omaha and Northwest Arkansas, like the wow type of player, than he is the player we saw last year at the major league level. Last year at the major league level was a whole lot of flailing. Now it's, hey, good plate discipline. When he makes contact, it's hard contact. You want him at the plate in important positions. Like Jack Caglione's starting to become the Jack Caglione that we all thought they were going to bring up last year in June.
Yeah, Jack Caglione last year to me looked like somebody who was playing a difficulty that he wasn't ready for yet and is now taking time to adjust. He looked like a freshman who had a couple of good games at JV, and they moved him all the way up to varsity and said, hey, go start. And the game was moving incredibly fast, and you've now given him more time, more starts. It is starting to settle down a little bit, and he is starting to figure some things out. That's what it looks like to me. I think the term flailing actually makes a lot of sense. I don't think he really had a center, so to speak, last year. I think he has one. He's been one of their better offensive players. If you were excited about Caglione coming into the year, so far he has proven you right. Again, maybe he didn't do it as quickly as everybody expected him to do it, but I mean, by the end of this homestand, we will be at 100 games with Jack Caglione. We'll be at 350 plate appearances. We'll be at 325 ABs. I think you should continue to feel very optimistic about Jack Caglione as he continues to age and continues to get more experience. What is he going to look like at 200 games, 250 games? What does he look like as he continues to see major league pitching?
I think in a way the Royals kind of screwed Caglione, and the fact that in June they said he's our solution to the problem. Our offense stinks, we're not winning, here comes Cags. He hadn't played much minor league baseball, and he looked like a rookie last year. And I think people then had preconceived notions of what he is. Well, I was told he's the second coming, and he's just a regular baseball player. Actually, he's not even that good. Like, our friends were at KMBZ in the newsroom. Like, they joked, they called him can't hit Cags last year. I think some of that, like, he's the savior stuff that didn't work out gets in people's head, but Cags is definitely part of the solution this year to the offensive problems.
I think that's a really, really good point. A couple people on the text line have also made that point too. He now just feels like one of the guys where I would say last year, I don't mean this in like an derogatory term, he felt like an attraction. Hey, come watch Jack Caglione play. Hey, it's Jack Caglione day at the K. Oh, this guy's you're right. Now that we've moved away from that conversation, and now you can just settle in, you're starting to get more comfortable, you're starting to get familiar, you're starting to see why people were so high on him coming into the majors. So I just wanted to point that out with Jack Caglione, the numbers. It's just he has been very, very good for the Royals so far. He is 23 years old. We still got a long way to go in his career. And again, by the end of this homestand, he'll be at 100 games. So we haven't even seen a full season yet of Jack Caglione. So I would say, basically a little bit past the midway point in year one for him, he is starting to look drastically different than he did at the very, very beginning of the season. We're going to reset things coming up at the top of the hour. We are off today at 5:30. The Royals are playing the best baseball they have so far this season. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel can make watching the NBA playoffs even more exciting because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. You can turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action. From player props on your favorite stars to stats and trends, FanDuel has all the tools you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet on the players you love the way you want by visiting FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Hello?
Hey, sis. Got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsberg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Trading the jacket for flip-flops? Start your sun-soaked getaway stress-free with Park & Go. All covered parking keeps your car cool and protected while you're catching rays. Quick shuttle straight to the terminal. Reserve now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and boy, do we have crashes downtown. 670 eastbound just before Paseo. Right lane is blocked there. 670 eastbound just before 35. Left lane blocked there. That is a multi-car crash. We've also got headed down 35, southbound just before 119th. It's a center lane blocked there, and you're slow back to 435. I'm Valid Traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Can I tell you guys how Joel Embiid really frustrates me? This is what I want to talk about for a little bit. Did you guys know that Joel Embiid has only been playing basketball for 10 years? Did you know that? Joel Embiid started playing basketball in 2016 when he started playing basketball. In 2 years' time, he got good enough to play basketball at Kansas. I don't think we ever talk about this enough. Rob, do you know how good at basketball you got to be for Kansas to say, you know what? We want to pay you to come here and play basketball for us. Like, you understand how good at basketball you got to be? Think about the best basketball player you know. For the most part, people do not know someone who was good enough to play basketball at Kansas. That's how good he got in 2 years of playing basketball. And in this time that we have had Joel Embiid in our lives, he is always hurt. But when he is healthy, God, he is so good. I don't think we also give Bill Self enough credit for clearly seeing the vision. Now, Bill kind of says this for like every recruit. Every big, best recruit is the best one that he's ever had. Everything he's saying about Darren Peterson, he also said about he's also saying about Tyron Stokes. I know the game. And everything they told us about Joel Embiid is 100% true. Joel Embiid is one of the most talented basketball players this century. I'm not talking resume. I'm just talking of ability to play the game of basketball. He is very, very high on the list. And as I'm sitting there and I'm watching Game 7, it was almost like you got to see both ends of the spectrum with Joel Embiid. I mean, he had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And when the game was starting to get tight and Boston was making a little bit of a run, that hometown crowd was getting into it, Embiid hits that big three and quiets everybody down. He then goes up against Jaylen Brown, who we can talk about him another day, then scores right in his face, and Joel Embiid is just giving it back and forth. And it's Joel Embiid at his absolute peak. And then in the same game, he's like laying on the ground and he's like flailing to the ground and they got to stretch him out. You're thinking, man, if you don't get up, he has to be incredibly frustrating to watch. But in Game 7, you literally saw the full spectrum of Joel Embiid. There is almost nothing on a basketball court he can't do. You need him to shoot it. You need him to play defense. Whatever you need, Joel Embiid could do it. He can be the best player on a championship team. I actually think the Sixers, if Joel Embiid is healthy, the Sixers are right now the best team in the Eastern Conference. This is Joel Embiid's best chance to win a championship or best chance to get to a championship since the Kawhi Leonard shot, what was that, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. This is the best chance that he's had. If he's healthy, he's the best player left in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And with him, Tyrese Maxey, and a healthy Paul George, let me knock on wood because he also has ligaments like Joel Embiid that could just give out at absolutely any moment. The Sixers have a legitimate chance of going to the championship. But it's all based on, can Joel Embiid stay on the court, which has basically been the question ever since he was introduced to us and has been in our lives. He is very talented, but can he stay healthy?
Didn't the series against Boston give you the full Embiid experience? By the way, Embiid's been playing basketball for more than 10 years. He was at KU in 13, 14.
Oh, my bad.
It's fine. I think you got confused with the Mahomes. It doesn't matter. The whole series was the Embiid experience. He missed the first couple of games because of what you're saying. He was battling injury. And then when he came back, he, by himself, changed that series. I thought it was going to be a gentleman's sweep. I thought he wasn't going to be back, and I thought the Celtics were on their way to taking care of business. He returned, and the series changed. The Celtics had zero answer for him all series. Now, part of that's because their plan was Luka Garza, Naismith Award-winning Luka Garza, but that plan is not good enough. They were throwing bodies I've never heard of at him, and
That's
it didn't
because
stop him.
there's only one team in the league that has an answer for Joel Embiid. There's one. It's the Nuggets. That's it. It's the only team.
No, San Antonio.
Okay, Wemby. You're right. Those two.
It's rare you find a real...
For sure. Well, Wemby's just... nobody has an answer for Wemby. He's the most unique basketball player we've ever seen. Those two. That's what I'm saying. If Joel Embiid is healthy, Philadelphia should go to the NBA championship. But, I mean, you got to get through another month of high-intensity, grueling basketball for Joel Embiid. Does anybody think that he can do that? He's going to be questionable day-to-day every single game they have for the remainder of their season. But if he's on the court and if he plays, he will be very good. The way that in this series, 26, 33. Now, he had one game. He scored 19. He didn't play well. In a Game 7 on the road, 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And they won a Game 7 on the road in Boston. He's incredible. There's really no other way to put it. He's incredible. He just cannot stay healthy. He cannot stay upright.
That's why, I know a lot of people are buying the Sixers hype. They look like the best team in the East. I don't know. I love Joel Embiid. I don't know. I can buy into that hype right now. Do we think he's playing every game the rest of the postseason?
He might not even play game 1 of this first game. He might not even play.
I know. So it's hard for me to be like, man, the Sixers really have it going for them this year because it can disappear so fast. And Paul George, he's playoff P, not because of his success in the playoffs. I mean, I know he's technically right now the third option, and that's a nice place to be. But that team reeks of tough loss, tough exit to the Pistons in the conference championship.
Can I get on my soapbox for just a little bit?
Please.
Jaylen Brown is one of the reasons people hate NBA players. He's one of the reasons why. Let's start with thing number 1. Jaylen Brown is a future Hall of Fame basketball player, just because everybody gets in, right? He's been an all-star. He's won a championship game. Jaylen Brown yesterday did a Twitch. So after his season is over, there's really nothing else to talk about. You lost. Your season's over. You're done. Why are you even talking? He goes on Twitch and says this.
But I'm so proud, and it was my favorite year of my basketball career. One, streaming with you guys, chat, was awesome. Like, being able to talk to y'all was like therapy every single day. You know what I mean? I mean, not every day, like once a week or whatever, what I was doing. Just to be able to get on here and give y'all the perspective and kind of, because, these narratives be going left and right, just to hear it from the horse's mouth. But then also being able to just be a part of a group that just, through the uncertainty, came to fight and came to compete and came and went to war. I'll take a team like that any day of the week.
Jaylen Brown has a championship and also was Finals MVP. Can you imagine if Patrick Mahomes, in a season in which the Chiefs lost in the wild card rounds, like, man, I don't know about this one, man. This was the most rewarding year. This is the best year I've had. What a wild thing to say. Well, you got the spotlight. There was no Jason Tatum this year. He was hurt. You got to be the man. This was the best year of your basketball career. You had a 3-1 lead and lost 3 consecutive home games. How can you say that? He then also, I really hate this. Now, I'm not saying Joel Embiid don't flop a little bit. I mean, every NBA player, they got a little floppy in them, every NBA player. But you can't say that after this man just busted you out of the tournament. Why are you even talking about Joel Embiid?
I mean, this is my personal opinion on basketball. Some of y'all might disagree. You know what I mean? But argue with your grandma. Flopping has ruined our game. Joel Embiid is a great player, one of the best bigs in fucking basketball history. Flops. He know it. This ain't breaking news. This ain't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I can clip it up. Like I said, y'all can post it on these paid accounts that y'all, these bot, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Rob is an enemy of mine. He's an op. There's really you're an op. There's no other way to put it. You're an op. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this, and boy, do we have crashes downtown. 670 eastbound just before Paseo. Right lane is blocked there. 670 eastbound just before 35. Left lane blocked there. That is a multi-car crash. We've also got headed down 35, southbound just before 119th. It's a center lane blocked there, and you're slow back to 435. I'm Valid Traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Taking a look at the pro basketball futures market, Detroit and Cleveland in the second round in the East. Detroit -135 to win the series, Cleveland at +110. And I'll take a shot at Cleveland to win this series. Even with Cleveland getting pushed to 7 in the opening round by Toronto, I think Cleveland just has more scoring than Detroit. Now, Detroit's point guard is an absolute stud. He's an absolute star, but Cleveland is not Orlando. Orlando couldn't buy a bucket in Game 6 or Game 7. I think Cleveland has more good players. Give me Cleveland +110 to advance against Detroit. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Baseball is back, and BetMGM, official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Promotional offers may vary by market. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards may vary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the pillars of strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Hey, it's Cody in Gold, and if you've been thinking about getting into a new career in IT, I want you to meet Brady, a career services advisor.
Along to the play-by-play with Denny, Jake, Ryan, and Stu right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. My name is Carrington Harrison. We are off a little bit earlier today because of the Royals. We are off at 5:30. I'm surprised that I'm even here. I try to tell you guys all the time, there's no person that wants my downfall more than Rob. I don't know what I've ever done to Rob to get that to be the case. Let me just delete this out of the system. We don't need to ever play that again. Rob has there's some things you can get by and like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. Rob, that's the number one thing you can't do. Rob he doesn't care. Rob has it out for me. Then Rob looked like the Monopoly guy. It's like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, of course. I know, because you're the ops. That's why. That's what I've learned. You are my biggest op. Not Petro, not 810, not any other. You, my own teammate. You know who you are. You're Jaylen Brown. That's what I learned. I'm Jason Tatum and you're Jaylen Brown. That's what I've learned in the last 5 minutes. You're an op.
Dumb button's undefeated.
It almost lost for me and for you. We've been out of here. I've had a good run. That's not how I wanted it to end. I didn't want it to just end that way. Jaylen Brown was going to end my season. He couldn't end Joel Embiid's season. Now he got to end my season? It just doesn't seem right to me. All of it seems a little bit backwards. All right, so you know what I would like to start with? Can we start with some positivity about the Royals? Did you know that the Royals are playing much better baseball? In fact, the Royals, they have been very, very good of late. Now, the Royals are giving you hope. They're giving you confidence. They're giving you optimism. The Royals had a homestand after this was a 7-15 team. The Royals came back home. They had a homestand. They had a winning homestand. Yes, they had a winning homestand. They played 6 games. They won 4 of them. They then went on the road. Sure, they lost this series to the Sacramento. What are they even calling themselves? They're just the A's to me. What are they?
They literally just the A's. If you look at the Royals schedule, it says A's.
They're not even a team. They're not even a city. They're just the A's. They lost the series to the A's. You know what? That doesn't matter because they then go on the road to Seattle. They have a city. They go on the road and play the Seattle Mariners. They sweep that series. The Royals, after going an entire road trip of losing every single game, they came home for a home series. They won. They had a winning record in that. And then they had a winning record against the 2 teams on the road. Now, this is a very important stretch for the Kansas City Royals. Now, we're not going to do this a whole lot at this part of the season just because it's super early on. But if you want to take a quick look with me, my friends, as we take a look at the American League standings, did you know right now the Tigers have 18 wins, the Guardians have 18 wins, the White Sox have 16 wins, the Royals have 15 wins, and so do the Twins. They also have 15 wins. I'm telling you that because none of the teams in the American League Central are good, and yes, that includes the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Royals did exactly what they needed to do to give themselves a chance. Now, the reason I'm going through the standings and the reason I'm telling you that as the Royals sit 2.5 games out is, well, what do you know? Did you know that the next 10 Royals games are against teams in their division and teams that currently have more wins than they do? So, you know what the Royals can do in a very short period of time? They can start chipping away. There is a chance that the Royals can end this 10-game home stretch, or this 10-game stretch. 7 of those games are at home. 3 of them are on the road against the White Sox. There is a world in which the Royals are in first place in a week and a half if they just continue to do what they have been doing. Now, that's obviously very hopeful thinking, but you have the ability to directly hurt your opponents while also getting back to 500. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, maybe this is wrong of me to feel this way, but my energy, my mood, my momentum toward the Royals is going to drastically change if and when they get to 500. Because if we are judging this team off of a playoff or bust, and it is only a success if you make the playoffs, well, you can't make the playoffs if you're under 500. So if you can get back to 500, let's see when you get back to 500. Let's then take a snapshot of the rest of the American League Central, and then we can refresh and we can begin our conversations. The Royals could be over 500 on this homestand. They could be in first place on this homestand. This is a very important stretch for the Royals. Their division is bad. It might not always be bad, but it is bad right now. And what I think the Royals have done a good job with over the last 2 weeks is taking advantage of the teams that they should be taking advantage of. Baltimore is a team you should be taking advantage of. The White Sox, Cleveland right now, that's just a game over 500. Seattle right now, who was 500 and now under 500 after their series with the Royals. There's really not a lot of separation right now in the American League once you get past the top two teams. So there's only two teams in the American League with more than 20 wins. The Yankees are one of them. Tampa Bay is the other team. And every other team in the American League has somewhere between 18 and 13 wins. Now, I mean, the Boston Red Sox have been terrible. They fired everybody a couple of days ago. The Angels are, well, the Angels. So outside of those two teams, everybody else is just so jumbled up within 3 games of each other. So somebody's going to get hot. Somebody's going to cool off and completely take themselves out of the race. We all know how this thing works. But step one for the Royals has to be, thing number 2 is taking care of business in their own division. Getting back to 500 is great, but you know what's not going to win you the division? Having 6 wins this season against the Tigers. Having 4 wins this season against the Guardians. You got swept earlier this season by Detroit, and you've already lost the series to the Cleveland Guardians. So when you got an opportunity like this for a direct hit battleship, you got to take full advantage in this series. So that's what the Royals have the opportunity to do. Rob, that is going to be our de facto hit number 1. We'll get to Royals.tv here coming up in a little bit. But, Rob, you know what? I'm in a mood right now. We talk Royals in the 5 o'clock hour. I think the Royals are the biggest story in Kansas City. That can only mean one thing. Hit me!
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington today's Random Royals Lab takes us back to the year 2007. We're on this day in Royals history. The Royals unfortunately lost at home to the Detroit Tigers 6-3. Here was your Royals lineup. Leading off in center field should be Royals Hall of Famer David DeJesus.
Okay.
It's my one-man crusade. Kurt Nelson, I know you're listening. David DeJesus. Give me a vote. I will vote for him every year.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't dislike David DeJesus. I think you're taking it to the extreme.
He's a Royals Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's behind like 15 other people.
Yeah, I'm not saying this year, but he better get in.
When? I mean, they're about to start coming up on all the 14 and 15 guys. Who should he get in over from that group?
They just did Bo Jackson like 2 years ago. Time is fine.
Yeah, but I mean, they're also speeding some people up. Alex Gordon is already in there.
That's true.
So you're right. Yes, it took them a while to get Bo Jackson in there. But now that they've already started the precedent of putting 14 and 15 guys in, should he go in over Hosmer? Should he go in over Lorenzo Cain? Should he go in over Mike Moustakas? They haven't put any of the bullpen guys. So your guy, David DeJesus, he's like, yo, let's look this up. Hold on, let's look it up. Oh, yeah, look it up. Now I'm curious. What number would you guess for Billy Butler? What do you think his career splits are in the out? I can find it.
Ross Gloat at first, but Billy Butler in left.
I can find it.
Ross Gloat at first, but Billy Butler in left.
Just fielding advanced stats. Here we go.
Do it by position. There's no
my kind of world here.
Well, you look up that batting 7th was at third base, Alex Gordon.
Okay.
Behind the plate and batting 8th was John Buck.
John Home Run Buck.
And batting 9th.
I tell you every year, he led the Royals in home runs, and he had like 13.
It might have been this season. And batting 9th, the shortstop, Tony Pena Jr. The Royals lost on this date because stunner Justin Verlander mowed them down over 7 innings.
All right, so Billy Butler only played 6 games in left field. He only played 6.
I guess you can't look up year by year, but I'm sure it was the year Trey Hillman got fired.
He only played 6 games in left field. He had 20 plate appearances, 19 ABs. He did hit .316 with the .350 on base percentage playing in left field. Maybe they should have kept him there.
Billy Butler should also be a Royals Hall of Famer, by the way.
I agree.
Not for his play in left field, but just in general. Just in general.
That's why I'm saying your guy David DeJesus, if you didn't get in, like your window to get into the Royals Hall of Fame, if you were in the 90s and 2000s, I think that's past. Bo Jackson is just a completely different beast. He's Bo Jackson. He's one of the most revered athletes of all time. They probably should have put him in a long time ago. But if you were on a Royals team that didn't do anything, yeah, I just don't know. I think your time might have been passed. Like, you think they're celebrating David DeJesus in the new stadium? No chance. No chance. David DeJesus, he won't be invited to the first game at the new stadium.
You know what they should do? They should just wait for all those 2014-15 guys for the new stadium, and then we have an open window here for a Billy Butler, David DeJesus. That might be the list from the early 2000s. Beltran in yet?
I don't think he is, actually.
Actually, I don't think he is either.
This is a good question. See, how many heads would have to be on the mountain for you to put Alex Gordon on the Royals Mount Rushmore? That's a really, really good question. Let me think about that. I'm going to write that down, and we can talk about that. I think that's a really good topic. We don't have the time today to do that, but I don't think Alex Gordon is on their Mount Rushmore. I mean, George Brett, Salvador Perez. I don't really know what to do with Frank White. I mean, I think he is on their Mount Rushmore, but he's not very popular right now with Royals fans, so I feel like they're taking him off of Mount Rushmore. I don't know. It's a very interesting. Tell you right now, offering a deal right now for Royals.tv. So if you already had Royals.tv, I don't know what they're doing for you. Now, I wish they would do something for you. They definitely could do something for you. They can give you a credit for next year. They can give you some credit for the MLB shop. I mean, there's a lot of things that Major League Baseball could do to make you feel good about it. Because I would also be very upset if I spent $100 on the MLB.TV package, the Royals.TV package. It was $100. I then look up the next day, and now it's $44. And I would be frustrated because why am I now being penalized when I invested early in your product? And if they can either, I would say one of two things. They should give you a percentage. They should 25 or 30%.
Screwed by this price change before opening at half price. I just got 35 games in the season to have the price drop from 89 to, should not be.
They just link for it. Now, if you got the monthly, I just would cancel the monthly now. Like, why? Why are you still paying monthly? Why are you paying $19 a month for something that you can just buy all of the remaining months for $45? Doesn't really seem like a good value to me. I would just encourage you not to do that. And I would want people to feel good about their purchase and what they got.
Now, I'm betting the Royals would disagree with this statement, but isn't the fact they're dropping the price so significantly so early in the season an indictment on their subscribers? Or it's an indictment on their pricing system? Or maybe it's both. But the fact we are 35 games into the baseball season, I don't know what the percentage is of the baseball season. I have no idea what 35 out of 162 is, but it's less of a quarter of a way through the baseball season, and they're making a 50% drop special deal. To me, signals that either subscribers are way low or their original pricing is bad. Because it's an odd time just out of nowhere. It's not the Royals are on like a 12-game win streak.
That's also a pretty significant price decrease, too. It would be one thing if it was $100 and now they're saying it's going to be $80 the rest of the way. But to go from $100 and now we're going to give you a flash sale of $44, that's a substantial difference. Like for some people, that's a full gallon of gas. I mean, a full tank of gas. Like that's a drastic difference.
A full gallon's what? I mean,
it might be. Depends on what kind of car you got. It might be a full gallon of gas. That's about a week is what it's gonna be. Yeah, for sure. I think they should give you something. Someone on the text line sent this in. I want to read it. Let me pull it up here. C-Dot, I remember last week you said that you wouldn't watch the Royals because they didn't deserve it. So we don't want you watching them now that they're winning. You're either all in or get off the train. Don't talk good about them when they make the playoffs. And I'm going to tell you, I just mimic the action of you guys. I see the attendance. I told you, I think we give fair weather fans, I think we give them too much grief. I don't know if you should have been watching the Royals 2 weeks ago. They didn't really do a whole lot. They didn't really do a whole lot. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not 100% back in on the Royals. I'm just not out. The Royals, they have my attention. I am paying attention. It's intriguing. I really do like the basketball analogy. If you're watching a game and a team gets down 15, and then all of a sudden they go on a little bit of a run, now it's an 11-2 run, and now you're on the edge of your seat a little bit. All right, cool. Let's see if you can do it. But my stance on the Royals will be this will be unchanging. I will not be fully back in on the Royals until they're at 500. That's it. It's that simple. You got to get back to 500 to get me back on board. But there's no part of me that feels bad for being out on the Royals when they lost 10 of 11 games and they were the most disappointing team there's no part of me that feels bad about that. But now we're back. Now they got us. Now we're all here. Hey, the weather's going to be good. Hey, if they keep playing like this, I'll be out there again this week. I'm already planning to go to the game on Sunday against the Tigers. A night Sunday game seems like a really good time to me. But yeah, if they go out there, I'll go to multiple games during this homestand. But I'm tired of just giving the Royals our undying love and affection. You got to earn it with me. They got to earn it. And playing 7-16 baseball to kick off the season, you didn't earn our love and attention in the very, very beginning. So I'm just happy they're back to doing what they were supposed to do from the very, very beginning.
Let me ask you this, and I know we're up against the break here for to go to Vern. You said that you wouldn't be back. Let's say they get back to 500 and you come back. Do you think the city comes back with excitement, or do they need more?
I think they'll be back if they're back at 500.
Is that because of the division, or is that because...
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
A little bit of everything.
Because their division, one of the reasons why, if you are a hardliner, hey, the Royals have been fine, don't worry about it. One of the reasons you're a hardliner is they're 2.5 back despite being 4 games under 500.
Oh, it's a little bit of everything, for sure. It's a little bit of everything. But I firmly believe, I actually think it takes less to get people in on the Royals, and also subsequently it takes